Wait a sec. Did we start the podcast off with Seb saying something positive about Chelsea? You said it was a good game and we're involved in it. Yeah,
it's a fucking good game,
He ain't
mate.
feeling well, mate. Leave him.
No,
I'll tell you what was
I'm
a good
fucking
game.
sensitive for the minute, boys. All right, so leave me the fuck alone tonight.
Is
all right?
that? Are you
I
sensitive?
don't really want to talk to any of you. apart from Ash.
Cheers,
Are you
I'm
sensitive?
all right, mate.
All good,
thanks.
yeah?
Are you sensitive
Yeah,
because of the
fuck
weekend's
off.
football? Yeah.
Well, your comments about the things you've been buying.
We done well against you. Yes, we lost 1-0,
Yep.
but I thought we'd done all right. I thought that
I
was
just like.
respectable,
I
to be
just
honest with
like.
you.
So it was a better team then? You say you say you.
No, we was
In the
a
end of the
better
day,
team.
in
I
the end of the
think.
day, we got the result. Yeah. Look, the point that I really need to highlight, is for a team that's going to put 6 against Bayern Munich, which is what you said. If you played Bayern Munich, it
didn't
would be
say
a
that.
6-6 barn burner.
What are you on about?
Shay, would you like to back me up on this?
Well, the video backs it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I'm
on a
just saying.
podcast, mate. So all I'm saying is, considering you're able to put 6 in against Bayern Munich, you went a little gun shy on the weekend, didn't you?
Right, one thing is for sure, if this Chelsea had turned up against us, we wouldn't have ended 1-0. It would have probably ended 3 or 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are playing very well
Yeah,
in this
we're
game.
doing
and you're
all
actually
right.
enjoyable to watch. 'Cause no one can say you're boring when in this game, because it's
Yeah.
a very good game.
You got Englishmen playing Spaniards in the rain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Spaniards aren't necessarily used to
they're
the
not
wet
used to
No,
it.
it's probably the first day they've had the
If
wet.
that was on like barren, dry grass, it might be a different
Yeah, it's
situation.
frozen them up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a
They're
little
bit
bit.
stuck
Yeah.
in the
They
mud.
keep falling over.
What's going on? Yeah, so Chelsea
It is
are
a
used
bit
to it,
wet,
mate.
yeah.
Like I say, they're on a dog walking pitch, so they're used to it.
And they're in blue.
An
so
old,
it don't mind.
an old money pitch.
We're in the fucking Bernabeu. It goes a dog walking pitch again.
So Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, well, we ain't there, mate. Oh, right. Anyway, before Seb goes off on a rant
I'm
against
not
Chelsea
ranting.
again.
I'm not ranting, I'm not
just shutting down. So, let's go on to some UFC then,
Hold
boys.
on, let me just predict this game quick.
Come on
for
then,
you.
come on then.
I'll predict this game finishes 3-1 Real Madrid.
I
I
reckon-
thought that yesterday.
I reckon you're probably right, but I reckon it'd be like 2-1 Real
I reckon you
Madrid.
should put some money on it right
Yeah,
now.
you need them away goals, even if you lose. Like you want it 2-1, really, or
I've got it on
No,
a bet.
I don't want it 2-1. I'd rather have it like 4-1 to Chelsea, but I mean,
no,
that ain't going to happen.
You're
is it?
playing well, but not that fucking well, mate. you're an age, you're a lifetime away from that, bruv.
Yeah, mate.
Go on then. What was you saying, anyways?
Go on. I was going to say this weekend's football.
No, let's talk about last week, their last fight.
All right, so where do you want to start then?
Gaston and Whittaker.
What won the Jake Paul? then,
No,
or-
I was saying, if we're going to start...
Yeah, no, okay, that's at the beginning.
That's
yeah,
got
it's talk-
1.5 million
Well,
pay-per-view, so let's talk about the
let's
big
start
fight.
with the biggest fight out of them all, the Jake Paul one.
Let's talk about the biggest grossing fight since the last podcast.
That's the one I wanted to talk about.
That's the
so
one,
bad.
that's where the money is.
Look. The truth of the matter is, that Ben Askren was in there with an athlete, you know?
Oi, no, Ben
Askren's an athlete.
Stop proved us all wrong.
No, in all
Oh,
fairness...
so
Proved
wrong.
us all wrong,
In
mate.
all
So
fairness,
wrong.
no, to be honest, I did think Paul was going to sleep him because the way that Askren fights is by leading with his head, and he doesn't move his feet when he punches. So he's open for it. So like when he hit him with that right hand, he's so set that there's no chance of even a slightest little slip from the head because he's so solid.
Mate, he's
in
worse
his
than
stance.
useless.
So how,
He's
on a
worse than
professional
useless.
level...
He's
how,
worse than worse.
Yeah, he's-
how on a professional level, right, given the fact that we can sit here and break this down and know the exact problems with Askren's movement and everything, does a fighter with professional training and that amount of time to prepare for a fight go in and do exactly what you say he's going to do? Is it that built into him? I mean, don't get me wrong, he got paid, but how much did Paul get paid?
I don't know. Like,
Was it
Big grossing
a
fight.
certain amount?
got about half a million.
Also-
Oh no, I thought it was
Also,
absurdly
when you
bigger than that.
look, if you
know.
compare that to someone like Usman, who came into that division
Who's Usman?
in wrestling, as a wrestler, okay.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, as
Oh, you nearly scored there.
as a wrestler, yeah. And now you look at him, and he's developed an incredible jab. He works really well behind the jab, and he's got some weapons that he's going to use.
He's got to fight Jake Paul, then, hasn't he?
Yeah, no.
That's it. Usman Jake Paul.
Keep that what happened to him.
The point I'm trying to make.
Crumpled.
The point I'm trying to make is if you compare Askren's career to Usman's,
I don't think you can.
No, I'm not saying you can, but Usman has really developed weapons on the feet. So in that entire career, what the fuck was Askren doing?
Making money.
He was making money wrestling.
He was just relying on wrestling.
And are we going
You ain't got
to
nothing
potentially
else.
say that there was? I watched I didn't actually see that fight. I watched the highlights of that fight, and I heard nothing beforehand. I just watched the highlights of it. When Askren went down, I went, bit funny.
Looks a bit funny.
Looked a little bit funny. Just the way he went down. It's like he went down like kind of a little, like a funny little way, right? And then the ref count and everything was like that ended all quite quickly.
Yeah.
Like what's the get paid?
Yeah.
Everyone got what they wanted.
He did it.
Mate, he did punch him hard.
He did.
I'm not
was a
disputing the
shot.
fact
He
he
did
took a
hit hard,
punch.
boy.
But if you just look at how he went down,
Yeah, but
it was
when
like,
he
you
walked
watch
back to the ref, no, he was wobbling a bit and he was off balance.
Yeah, I know. But like, mate, how many people have
Who
we
knows,
seen get
mate?
knocked? How many people have you seen get knocked out in professional fighting?
100%.
And for that one to go, well, that looks a bit funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like,
mate,
I mean, I'm not.
Fair.
Look, let me just say, like, I'm not saying that he was doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
It just made me think.
Maybe
It
it
might
was,
have
mate.
been an easy way
Mate,
out.
will he earn, what,
If
2
I don't
million
know
or
what
3
I'd have
million
done.
in
If I
2
got crack
minutes?
around the head and didn't get
Mate.
knocked out, I'd have maybe.
Yeah, fuck, I was saying, he ain't got nothing else going for him.
No,
Is he, Ben
Jermaine
Askren?
set the standards
Why
for
not?
being knocked out.
Who gives a fuck,
he's-
mate?
It's a payday.
Yeah,
Number one for that one.
Askren got paid what, $1 couple of mil?
Probably a couple of million. He
Well,
earned that in 2 minutes.
well, it all depends because
Well, it was
if
half.
they
I would
really,
have done that for $1 million.
Half
Yeah,
a
no,
mil.
that
it
was
was
half
half a mil
before.
was his paycheck, but then he
Yeah.
got a percentage of the pay per view. And if they really did gross, like you're talking like 1.5 million buys, which is fucking
I
enormous.
think it was a
yeah?
gross of 57 million for some reason.
Yeah.
That number's in my head. Yeah.
So no,
Dana
I'm
White
pretty
said
certain.
so.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty certain.
Yeah, but if you-
that's what Jake made off of this
57
I
fight.
think that was the
million.
gross in. Yeah. Oh no, it's insane.
Dana
yeah.
White said
How
there's
much
no
did
way
Jake
they've
Paul
done
make
that.
out of that?
Oh, a lot.
There's no way. It's
Yeah.
a
Fucking hell, I didn't know it had that
Yeah,
sort of layout.
Joe,
Yeah.
I'm calling
can
bullshit
you-
on it as well.
can
When
you
you
check
got
what
when
the,
when that's like Khabib McGregor.
What are you
numbers.
calling
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah,
on?
yeah.
What
The
are you calling
numbers.
the numbers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That-
you have got to be careful with the numbers, don't you? Because they do always. The UFC always say that.
Yeah,
they
but
always say,
that's-
"Oh, it grows this much." It's like, did it? Oh, no. Right.
That's
Mate,
yeah,
look,
but what he's
that
he's
can't be
saying
right,
that's
mate.
like
You give-
serious
You're
serious
talking
pay per
about
view
a
buys.
YouTube star. Those guys, they are getting viewership beyond anything.
Yeah, that's
Anything.
true. That is
a
true.
whole different game.
Yeah.
If, like,
That
I
is
don't know,
true, bruv, to be
50
fair.
Cent or Eminem went in it, do you know what the viewership of that would be?
Yeah,
But
it'd be the
what-
biggest fight in history.
Well, guess what?
Boom.
Jake Paul's got more viewers than them.
But my
no, I don't think
the
he
way
has.
I look at
He's
it,
got-
like
he's got 25 million or something.
where
like
is
that.
the money?
I don't know.
Where
What
is
are
the
they
money
even
in
viewing
UFC?
him for, anyways?
What do you mean?
What the fuck they viewing him for? He looks like a fucking banana. What do you want to view that geezer for?
I don't
He
know
does
what.
though.
What's
He
I
looks
don't know what his
like-
content is.
big
I'm
banana
not
skin.
sure what
Does he
his
do
he
those
looks
prank?
like.
Is he a prank? Does he do
What,
pranks?
Jake
I don't
Paul?
know.
Yeah, does he do pranks?
Just a
does he?
general YouTuber. It does everything.
What's that?
So
I don't know what that
they
means.
make videos. They do all
What, the
sorts
top
of
They
shit.
do,
daily
Twitch, they
vlogs
do
and-
Twitch stuff, and
They
that
do-
may be like
All sorts of shit.
the other.
No.
What's his brother's name?
Logan.
Logan, right? So he done like some really crazy videos. He done one where I think he went out to Japan,
Yeah.
to where that woodland was, where people hung themselves.
The graveyard.
And
Yeah.
there's like a really famous place in Japan where people want to, like they go there and hang themselves in the woods. And he's gone out there looking for people that have hung themselves.
And he made.
And it was really controversial.
Is this in his early
yeah,
days?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
Not
not
a couple of years ago.
That
It wasn't that
really-
long ago.
Was it not?
really insensitive video
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like
Yeah,
that's
caused
got-
mass
surely-
outrage.
yeah,
Yeah.
can you
Yeah,
imagine?
mass outrage, but obviously cranked the viewership up out of publicity.
But
and stuff.
Japan-
But
Japan-
he was already on a queue. I mean, he's not that, PewDiePie? You know that guy? PewDiePie, I think, still today, is the biggest YouTube. He has the biggest subscription.
Yeah, he's got like 103 million subscribers.
Who are these?
PewDiePie.
What do
So I
they do?
think
What do they do?
Right, so
PewDiePie
PewDiePie-
plays games,
he
does
used to do
reviews,
reviews and
reactions.
games
What,
and
like
stuff.
KSI kind of thing?
Exactly like
yeah,
that, yeah.
but I think
Okay.
PewDiePie was one
Is
of
he
the ones
related
that
to
one of the
Popeye
OGs
by any
of it.
chance?
he jumped on things like Minecraft
Right,
and Fortnite really early. So when those games blow up, and
Yeah.
you've got a guy early on that's doing the Twitch stuff for it that's actually good. the kids jump on it.
But
My
it was
little
more.
one, he can't
But
stop
the
watching.
the Logans have been more like viral videos, so it'd be like them doing like challenges and things like that and all that kind of stuff.
So who's Connor's boy who was doing the
Dylan Dennis.
Dylan Dennis. He was on the Food Truck Diaries with Brendan Sharp.
Yeah.
And is it Logan Paul, wasn't it?
No, Jake.
Was it Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Who water bombed him and that. Like it's all that kind of stuff. Just chucks their subscriptions.
The thing is, they got.
Yeah, but it also generates a lot of hate.
It generates a lot of money when it tends to turn up for fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But they've got viewers, and they've got this fucking base of people that want to watch them. Because you got to remember, like these guys have got like 10 million subscribers,
at least.
So there's already this base for when these guys want to fight because they've already got these subscribers.
Yeah, of course. It's what I was saying last time. It's lucrative fights regardless.
Then it builds. Like Tommy Fury is calling out Jake Paul, and Jake has said to him, "Okay, I'll fight you. How about you get your big bro out?" Yeah, he fights this guy called Brewster, I think, who's one of the top fighters in the WBC rankings. He's like, "You fight him, and I'll fight you on the same card." And I was thinking, if this AJ thing doesn't materialise, who knows? But then I think they're close to that.
Why
because
was he
I've
calling
just seen
Brewster out on this day?
That
Why
would be a
him?
massive event. That would be a massive
because
event.
they're friends.
Because they're buddies. So
they're
it
friends,
works both ways.
Some geezer,
So this
Tommy Fury fought Jake Paul. That would be a massive event.
That would be a massive event. If Tyson Fury fought one of the top
Tommy Fury
heavyweights.
makes money. Probably more money than he'd make in any other boxing
But the thing is, he's massive.
would.
He's massive on Instagram. Like Tommy Fury, because of the whole Love Island shit.
Right,
He's got this fucking huge following.
Yeah.
So he can literally say to him, "We are both massive social media presences. You don't need my brother." Me and you can sell a fight on his own. But if they get Tyson Fury on that card, that's fucking huge.
well,
if I was
it,
his brother, I'd be saying to him, "Listen, go and bash up this Brewster guy and let me make a packet."
Well, okay, so how much of it do you think's down to Tyson Fury? When it comes down to it, these booking agents, you know how corrupt the boxing situation is.
100.
And they're going to go, "Oh, you can fight him."
But I actually think...
You've got to go and fight. Isn't Fury still got to fight Wilder again?
Fury, no,
They're in a three-fight contract,
because
that's never happening again. That's never happening.
But
Wilder
didn't they sign a 3-fight contract?
Yeah. But Wilder had 30 days to sign the acceptance, and he didn't. So
No,
that
good move on Wilder's front.
He knew it was best for him.
What
was best for him in that one, man.
What makes me laugh is
so weighing him down.
what would we come out after that fight? He said, "No excuses, no excuses." I was like, and then all you've done is say excuses.
What did he say? His outfit was too heavy.
His outfit was the worst one.
Vader, and he said he looked too heavy.
The worst one he come out with was when he said that he had an egg weight in his glove, and he's hitting him with it. And I was like, you do understand that what you're saying there is a whole conspiracy within boxing. Because one, your guy would have had to be there when the hands were wrapped, The commission will be there. From the minute those gloves are put on the hand, the commission do not leave. You'll have a commission. When you get to the ring, the ref will check the gloves. He grabs your gloves, he gives them a feel, checks them all out, and then goes, go. So what you're saying is the ref, your own team, and the commission all conspired to fucking rob you.
Funny. You see the size of fucking Tyson Fury. You think he needs an egg weight? You see the size of his hands? Bruv, it would be like, he knocked me out. I went, it was the fucking egg weight, mate.
But on the
300 pounds of pure force going into his hand.
Bringing it back to Fury, he came out and said, like, he's not training because that fight isn't materialising and he's not fucking wasting his, getting ready or whatnot for a fight that AJ's fucking taking long on.
He's still sparring though.
Yes, but he's just gone out to America to train with
He's with Billy Joe, isn't he?
What's his name? The Kronks. What are they called? Fucking guys. He took Emmanuel Stewart. The Stewart camp.
I thought he was over with
He's with Billy Joe. He's out with Billy Joe.
That fight's in a couple of weeks.
Mate.
Not this week. Next week.
Mate, I was telling Shay that Canelo for me is so disrespectful. I do not like Canelo as a boxer, and the reason why is because in his contract, he puts out that you have to dehydrate yourself for a certain period of time.
He's a good enough boxer to
He's
not
great.
need all that.
Is that
bollocks.
100% before you get sued?
Mate, it's legit. It's legit. It's known. It's
I
known
don't
in
know.
boxing.
This is what I said to Troop. It's fucking outrageous that can even happen.
I think this.
No,
I
that
think,
can
I
even
think you'll
happen,
find
mate.
this probably happens in different. Maybe not necessarily in hydration, but
Why?
I've heard things about. I've heard things about Mayweather and certain selected fights that he'll take for certain things like.
Yeah.
They
why
steer
do you
things
think
very much in their way, especially when you get up and you're going, I'm 40-0, I'm 41-0. You'll be much more selective or much more like you're writing these contracts in because it's a benefit for that fighter to fight you, irrelevant to the conditions.
But one of the things Mayweather does,
not how it should be.
one of the things Mayweather does,
but that is professional sport is corrupt through and through.
He picks his own refs as well.
He's too good
So
to need all that
Mayweather, although I do think,
I do think
Mayweather's not probably, he is the greatest defensive boxer to ever live.
You could argue the best boxer.
You could argue the best, but without question, he is the greatest defensive boxer.
100%.
Yeah. He picks his refs. Zab Judah dropped him. I don't give a fuck. He said he'd never been dropped in his life. Zab Judah hit him. Mayweather's hand went down on the thing. That's a knockdown. Yeah, that should have been an 8 count. But there's no way one of Mayweather's refs is going to give him an 8 count.
You said he picks his refs.
Yeah.
If he picks them, who's dictating their wage?
McGregor, that McGregor fight. Yeah, that was his ref.
Right, but who? Right, if he picks
That's
the
what
ref,
I mean, it's
who
ridiculous.
pays the ref? Who gets paid in that fight? Where does
It's not so much that it's money. So basically, what it is in the fight agreement, it will be like this: I won't do that fight unless one of these 2 guys is reffing it.
Yeah,
then it picks them guys because he knows they're favourable towards Mayweather.
So there's an indirect way in which to pay someone.
Bollocks.
You get the job. You get the job. It means you get paid.
Yeah.
But you're only getting paid if I want you to fight my fight. That is an indirect way in which to pay someone to ref your
100%.
fight.
Yeah.
That is 100% it.
Yeah.
Now you can look at it however way you like. But
here's another thing.
So he's paying his refs.
Here's another thing. Yeah. Like when he fought Mayweather, Canelo. Yeah, he got beat. Straight up, hands down, beat,
definitely. He got boxing lesson,
One of them judges scored it for fucking a split. That gives you an example, an idea of what Billy Joe is going against. He is going against a fucking playing field that is stacked against him. Those refs, he will literally have to fucking knock him out. If he goes in there and absolutely schools him, he'll get a draw.
That's why I'm telling you now.
Get a draw.
Anyone, listen, a draw is a good bet for this fight.
Yeah.
The other day it was 16-1. Normally a draw in a boxing match is 25-1.
Yeah.
Between 25-1. That will be less than 16-1 by the time of the fight. That'll be about 12-1. You don't get out on a draw.
Yeah.
If Billy Joe outboxes him, which he could do.
100%.
He could do.
100%.
And he don't knock him out. What Troop said, exactly that.
What you'll see this.
Golovkin done him, mate. I don't give a fuck.
Golovkin definitely did it. In that first fight, in the second, I think was a draw. I watched both, the first fight, 100% Golovkin won, The second fight, he...
Closer fight.
Do you know what? Do you know what one of the funniest things I've seen about Canelo,
got
though,
bet on them
is
draws with them fights.
Amir Khan talking about the moment that he knew he was in trouble in that Canelo fight. He said he'd come through, solid jab, and then he said, and he caught him with a straight right, straight on the jaw, and he said, he was like, I've dropped loads of people in fights with that combo, like he said, and he goes, and I hit him, and he didn't move, and I went,
no, you ain't
shit,
mate. Listen, mate.
Shit, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, honestly, I don't even think Usman could knock Canelo out if he hit him with his right hand. I don't think he could. Yeah, we all know what devastating that right hand is. I don't think Canelo would budge.
Did you see how much I put into that right?
Golovkin Canelo with loads of bombs, mate.
Yeah,
Danny Jacobs hit him with loads of bombs.
He hits hard as well, mate. He punches so hard.
That's true. Like Billy can't get carried away in this fight. He needs to constantly be on the move.
Mate, he needs to have concentration 100% all the way through.
The thing is, though, I think it's one of them fights.
One fuck up, mate, and he's done.
Which he loses the rematch. If they get a draw, I think he loses the rematch because I think if Canelo gets 2 looks at him, he'll probably figure out how to hurt Billy. I think in the first fight, I think he needs to get the first 8 rounds and survive the last, because I think by the time you get to the end of that fight, Billy's movement's going to be lessened because he's going to be tired, and you're going to see Canelo start to really fucking tee off on him,
Slow start.
Slow
Canelo,
start, But the
out.
next fight, all that shit that it took fucking 8 rounds for Canelo to figure out, he'll have from the beginning of the fight. So I think that's when it'll be fucking scary.
But then it's
for
down
him.
to Billy Joe to switch it up for the next fight, like Tyson did with Wilder.
Yeah.
Down to him. I don't know what he
They
can
don't
do,
know
but
this
it's in his.
But he's not gonna.
You know what I mean?
Billy is not gonna go.
Who's got the
and
better
put it
fight
on him.
IQ? Who's got?
I
Who's
think
got?
I'll probably say
Billy
Canelo.
Joe.
Billy Joe's got a better
I'll
skill.
probably say
In
the
my
problem
opinion.
with the problem
I think he's got more
with
better skill.
the thing is,
But
if
Khan's got
Billy
better
wins this
skill set
fight,
than Canelo.
you're gonna see something from Billy that you've never seen. Every time I watch Billy, he does this above to the level he needs. Like, he literally, if the fight is this good, he'll fight that good.
Mate, I've seen him
Hey,
demolish people before.
The
Yeah,
only
really
fight I've
absolutely
ever
demolish
seen
them.
where he really showed how many levels he was above was Lemieux.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
a
schooled him. But,
fucking well good
but
fight,
if you
isn't it,
look at
bruv?
every other fight, Billy
He's
Joe
doing the bare
goes
minimum.
to the level that is needed. Nothing above to the level that's needed
I
to
can't
beat
remember
that
who it
guy.
was, but there was a pretty famous UFC fighter that said to basically do just above what is needed.
Yeah.
Don't show all your cards.
Yeah.
Do what is just above needed. Keep the rest in the bank until it's required.
Yeah. He's
gotta
in
show
that
every
respect,
fucking
that's
card for
exactly
this
what
fight,
you're
mate.
saying.
Unless
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Ngannou,
yeah, yeah.
and then you just knock everyone the
Unless
fuck out.
you got it.
You can't really
But-
change anything
I
then.
don't think Ngannou can fucking
But-
like
Well,
Yeah,
bring
you-
it back.
well,
you
no,
know.
I think
Change anything.
Bang! Shit.
I think Ngannou can do that.
How many people do you think he's accidentally dropped in
Whatever
sparring?
you-
Oh my
And,
God.
fuck, sorry, I've done it again, boss.
Mate, sparring
Whatever
partners
you
don't
do-
even turn up.
Do not knock him out. Now we're fucked.
Let's just pull him to the side. Listen, Francis, if you keep knocking him out, we're not going to be able to get your spine partner. It's just like look at him, there's some dude.
It's the only ring with 2 beds next to it. Ready at the start. But no, I mean, I couldn't actually disagree with you more in terms of what you're saying about it. I think what Ngannou did in the last fight was show absolute restraint.
Yeah.
I really
yeah.
do. I think he just, that was, and to quote Rogan, the scariest Ngannou.
Yeah, for
Was the
sure.
one that was like,
For sure.
he's holding back, he's moving,
sure.
he moved like slicker. He was looked like for a giant geezer. He
fucking
was like,
icky.
Does that-
floating.
he was
excited.
was
You're like,
painted.
well, don't put your fucking legs in the mix and all, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't think those leg kicks would be
How old
as
is
devastating as his hands are in
No, but
retrospect.
it's something else to think about, isn't
Well,
it?
he's also he's a boxing. His pedigree, his boxing.
Yeah.
He's not like if he went come through a taekwondo school from when he was
Course,
young, that'd be a
course.
different game altogether.
Course.
And there would be 15 blokes in wheelchairs.
And I'm not saying
But-
he doesn't kick hard, but
You'd be
his
signing your will
efficiency with
before
his
you sign
hands,
that.
Oh my
his
God.
like technique and his
signing wills.
efficiency
You
of
do.
his hands.
You do. I guarantee you have a fucking deficit.
But
What-
What people don't
think.
think about with Ngannou as well is he's technically sound when he fights. Like he's a good
Yeah.
counter.
But
He's
usually-
sharp.
you know-
and
you know-
he's sharp. He slips and counts. Everyone talks about Ngannou and this like
But he
leveling
knows-
power,
Yeah, he's
but
sharp.
but he is a good fighter.
But if you watch when he just blasts people, you look at the ones that he has done that to. He knows that's what he needs to do them.
Yeah.
He's I'm just going to smash them out. When he tried that with Stipe on their first fight, and Stipe weathered it,
Yeah.
then Stipe went, "Oh, you can't wrestle." Then like adding down, and then kind of couldn't do anything. Over and over and over and over again, round after round after round.
But
then
they-
look what that did to Ngannou. When he went and fought Derek Lewis next time, Derek Lewis, who is now Ngannou, has now got up for his next fight,
Yeah.
right? Derek Lewis has got that knockout power, 100%, and Ngannou cannot ignore. If you go
you
flying
won't
into that,
ignore that,
and you
yeah.
catch one of them, bruv, if anyone's knocking Ngannou out, it's Derek Lewis.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
1,000%. That
sure.
geezer is a train.
Definitely.
right?
That's the next fight.
Right.
That's the
But
next
I
fight.
still
That's the
think
next fight.
think the blueprint to beat Ngannou is the same. It's just about whether in the first 3 rounds. I think if you can get out
But
those first
that's
3 rounds,
everything.
yeah, of
That
course,
is everything,
of
mate. That's
course.
one storm,
That's-
boy.
How many?
that's
Sorry,
massive.
how many people
They
have done
don't.
it?
That's fucking
Listen, there's
some
one-
storm,
Stipe,
that
There's
one,
one
bruv.
guaranteed
guy,
way to
one
get in
guy.
the octagon and beat him. Shotgun to the kneecaps.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
that
As it stands at the
And then
moment.
you might win. You
and
might
That's
win.
what
Yeah,
David
but
Hayes
that
said.
guarantees
That's
you
what
win.
David Hayes said about fucking Mayweather. They were like, "How'd you beat Mayweather?" He was like, "Bring a shotgun."
Even then you still got point.
Yeah, innit? Yeah.
But yeah, it's just funny he said that.
Just
yeah.
move out of the way.
I'll tell you what, yeah, keep it on the UFC, not going on to boxing. How
Look what happened.
fucking...
We started talking about Jake Paul first.
I know.
That has to be done.
How fucking impressive was Robert Whittaker?
Fair play.
Oh my God, he was
Mate,
first.
that's probably the best I've seen him,
He
to
was
be honest.
first
He's
to everything,
unbelievable, mate.
to literally everything. Bang, just jab. Every time Gastelum tried to do anything, bang, he just got
he's
Oh, and
smacked.
how good's Gastelum, by the way?
Gastelum's
He
great.
never
just
looked
not-
like he weren't out of it, did he?
Gastelum's great,
He
but
never looked like
I
he
do
went
think
out.
That's
It was,
his
like,
Gastelum's
it
heart,
was,
mate.
it was
It's
like,
no
it
question,
was like
mate.
he knew, like a tenth of a second before.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
He
was
did-
like,
he had his number, mate.
He was like, he had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
his
had
number,
but he
mate.
was
First-
always
first
there
to
with him,
everything.
though.
And
He
you-
was like,
you-
right,
first
let's
to
go.
everything.
You've seen this in fights before with other fighters where it looks like the training and everything leading up to it. It's like they got their number. They studied him
Yeah.
so well that
Yeah.
that is an incredible training camp.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start looking back at the training camps and you go, who's he training with?
Yeah.
Like, well, now they're mustard.
How
The
fucking...
game plan was
And
perfect.
How
who
tough
is
was
Whittaker?
Gastelum,
What
though?
camp's Whittaker
he's
coming out of?
I think he fights...
Whittaker.
I don't think he trains in
no,
America. I think he trains in Australia with
Is
his
he?
group. Yeah, he's a bit like Darren Till in that sense.
Whoever it was,
Done a good job.
fucking 1,000%.
Great
mate.
job.
Dead and
He's
shoulders
like
above him, mate.
I couldn't believe like how he mitigated all of his weapons. He completely took that left hook away from Gastelum, yeah, with his footwork, and then that jab was just the neutralizer. Whenever Gastelum came to like kind of get into range, bang, that jab straight on
As
the
soon as he
nose.
entered that pocket,
Bang.
mate. See, every time he
Move
entered
out.
that pocket, he was getting jabbed every
Move
time.
out.
Bang, bang.
And
And they
then-
were hard hits.
And then
he was getting tagged hard.
and then he got Gastelum so worried about the jab that he started faking it, and then Gastelum goes in, and then bam, he blitzed him, and that's when he
Perfect,
started
innit?
landing some real heavy
Perfect.
shots.
When you get something nailed in like that, and the jab thing, just quick, not noticed like a resurgence of a really good jab.
yeah.
Like Usman's fight, like last
Sorry to
fight.
interrupt you, boys, but it's the second half of this game now, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Let everyone know. Sorry, Ash.
No, that's
Crack
all right, you
son.
crack on.
No, that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's all I wanted to
Yeah,
say.
no, Usman's last fight, he fought before this one.
Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns.
The
Gilbert
ring
Burns.
jab. Burns.
That jab was as perfect a jab.
Oh, yes.
Straight down,
Oh,
straight
yes.
down
Yeah,
the middle.
mate.
Put him
But
straight to bed.
it was perfect, and the distance, like he was catching it like perfect,
It's
bang, bang, and it was just like,
It's a
oh my
solid
god, that's the
jab
most
as well.
lethal jab I've ever seen.
It's a solid
And-
jab, man.
And then you start going, Usman can strike.
But I'd go as far
can
as
exactly.
Usman
I
ain't even
would-
got
he
the
can
throwing
strike.
beats. He's throwing them straight down the tunnel.
he's
I
looking
would go-
and he's
decent, isn't he?
catching him. And
That's-
when you can do that, and you are also an incredible wrestler and you can shoot, look
That's-
what could be
and strong.
big.
But the truth of it is, straight punches beat looping punches. And then when he got caught, Masvidal got caught, he was going for a check left hook. And that's why, and this is what I was really impressed with him. He kept coming in and, fucking name. Masvidal was throwing that check left hook, so he'd come in and he'd try and catch him with the left hook, fucking Usman saw it a few times, and then he went,
which one are we talking about?
So,
here? The first or the second one? We're talking about the new fight now.
no, so
Oh,
fucking
I'm trying to swerve that one.
new fight, So with Usman, when he hit him with that fucking right hand, and absolutely leveled fucking Masvidal,
We're there, yeah.
he fucking watched it on the fucking constantly, that check left hook coming in, and he was like, okay, rather than that, I'm going to fake you with the jab, so he goes like
He knocked
half,
his other hand out the way.
literally grabbed his
parries it
hand, so he
out.
comes in,
Parried it out
takes
the
his
way.
hand, just gives him, but all of that's just something to look at with your hand. So instantly, he goes for that fucking check hook to kind of in the space where he's going, and Usman just comes straight through with that
Hey.
right.
Well
Bam!
studied, because he's
Bam!
he's not a striking pedigree.
But
in
it's
that respect.
it's
He's
IQ
Oh,
on the
oh,
feet.
oh.
But
Oh.
he's learned the windows of those things. Like
Yeah.
when you've got someone at that level, you have to go back to like basics.
Yeah.
don't you? You have to bring it all back. You can't out tech a technical fighter if you don't come from that.
And
you
that,
have to bring it back.
And that straight that he landed was.
Oh, my
He put his everything in that
The
kitchen
hot- his
sink,
everything.
everything.
One of
literally.
Everything,
if
mate.
there is a
Yeah, proper.
picture, like when you see that sweat
Proper.
come off, it was just one of those
Massive shot.
classic.
on the
Right.
chin as well.
It's a no joke, Masvidal is hard to knock out.
Oh,
mate.
well, the
And-
first
and-
55 fights.
and
isn't it?
that-
No,
50
he has been
fights.
knocked out in an MMA fight before,
Once in
and it
50
is
fights.
exactly the same way.
Yeah.
If you watch the two knockouts Masvidal has been left going for the left hook and being caught straight on the chin by a straight right.
But that just shows how hard you have to hit Masvidal to knock him out. Because you have to hit him with everything.
Did you see how clean that was?
Yeah,
like,
clean,
right
mate.
on the chin.
Come right in, hit him,
bang! It was a perfect.
All his body weight.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It was a straight rather than an overhand, but just the way the moving away to the side, it was very similar to Bisping Hendo. You know, where Hendo's...
it looked like, almost like an overhand.
Yeah,
it did,
almost
it was
like
fucking
an overhand.
quick and all, how quick he done it.
Yeah.
Fuck me, mate.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I want to see Usman fight Izzy.
I don't think anyone beats Usman in that fucking weight division.
I don't.
And Izzy and Usman won't fight because they're both
Nigerian.
He's already said he will never go up to middleweight while he's his champion.
He's
already said he never would.
Bit like DC. Who was the fucking heavyweight? Cain Velasquez.
Yeah,
DC Velasquez.
Sometimes it's just that, isn't it?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same with the Klitschko's when they were boxing. It's like, I can't bring myself to hurt my brother.
No.
You know what I mean?
Some people are different, aren't they? Some people don't give a fuck.
Well, that always made me laugh because they asked that. They said they'd never fight. And then they went up to Vitaly and they were like, who would win out of you and your brother? And he was like, I don't like to think about it. I don't like to discuss it or even think about it. They go to Vlad and Vlad's like, I had to learn to be tough. My brother was always tough. He's like, okay, so you think your brother will bash it?
Something's gone on there.
He's like, my brother was always tough. Yeah. I had to learn to be tough. I'm like, yeah, that's your way of saying, I think my brother would probably bash me. And I think Vitaly would probably get him.
Benzema's back. He's hunting, mate. You got to watch out for Benzema, mate. He's a hungry lion tonight, bro.
Benzema's a good player.
He's been there. He has been the main man for him tonight.
Let's have a little gander and see what he's done this season.
Oh, mate, yeah. I don't think anyone beats Usman in that weight class.
I don't.
I think he's got all the right in the world to be cocky how he is at the minute because he's
he's on top
of
his game, mate, and he deserves this praise. So
100%, mate.
Yeah,
100%. And another thing,
he's worked hard for it as well.
Like the next fight's him and Colby again. Yeah, I think Usman will get Colby out of there before 5 rounds this time.
Okay.
Yeah? What do you reckon?
Yeah,
I think he will. I think he'll get him out of there within 2-3 rounds because his striking's only improved.
Same. Okay, so just quick thing on Benzema, he's elite, mate. He's played 28 games in the league this season and scored 21 goals, and he has 7 assists. And in the Champions League, he's played 7 games and has 5 goals.
He's dangerous. He's beasting,
he's dangerous.
That's elite.
Yeah, well, you can see it in this game. You can see it. He is the man that is worrying Chelsea. He is the man. That is it. That is all I've seen is him.
He's the guy that we need to keep quiet.
He's the guy you need to get...
I've just realised we are going to lose this game 2-1. And I'm telling you who's going to score it now. It's going to be Eden Hazard coming off the fucking bench.
No, that will be the third goal. That'll be the 3-1 that I said. You'll get 2-1. Benzema will probably crack another one. And then Hazard will come on and ding one straight in.
As long as we score another 3, I'm cool with that.
Hazard scores a penalty. That'd be fucking lovely. That'd be lovely, mate.
I reckon he regrets leaving Chelsea.
Who, Hazard?
Yeah.
Depends where he prefers living.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Right there, Ash.
I think
when you're absolutely adored in a country and you go somewhere and they don't even like you where you are, he doesn't get no love. It's not like they're supporting him, like, come back. No, they do not like him.
I couldn't give a... That might affect some people. It wouldn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, but you can't say that till you're in that position.
No, fair, granted.
You don't know what it's like, to go out onto a platform, be booed, be hated in the media, and then perform on that level. So you're getting hate for a club, and you're going out, and that might be all right for the first fucking week or whatever. You're like, they booed me, but after 6 months of that shit.
What level are you talking about here?
But Gareth Bale, basically.
I think they're well used to it. I think
they're used to it. I think they're used to it from when they've been paying.
That's exactly my point.
That's
exactly my point.
Some fucking little dinlo.
Okay,
they've been paying.
You say they're used to it, but Frank Lampard came out and talked about how he hated playing West Ham.
I'm sure he did.
Every time he came back to play West Ham, he hated it. Booed him, didn't like it.
Here we go, what?
That's part of the game, mate.
Whoa,
I think they're completely used to it.
Here he is again. I think they've got danger, man.
I think they've got sort of what's it called, like psychiatrist style people that help them deal with all that stuff.
Yes.
I think it is all part of it, and they've seen it from their youth.
You're taking out the human element there.
I'm not taking out the human element.
People react to different shit differently.
Of course, everyone's different.
Everyone's different. So some people might get wrecked by that, and some people might. Gareth Bale, the guy we're using as an example, he definitely didn't give a fuck.
No, it's just some people don't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people don't give a shit, mate.
It wouldn't bother me, or I wouldn't bother me.
Going back to UFC, Usman got booed.
Yeah, that's because he come out with that 30% shit.
That isn't why he got booed. It's because everyone was behind Masvidal.
They were
singing.
But
I don't
think
Usman give a shit, did you?
No,
when he came out, he was dancing some Nigerian music.
Usman's had to develop that as well because Dana hated him for a while.
And they've got the rest of their teammates with them.
And after that,
the ones they
RDA
actually
fight,
care about their opinions.
Yeah, honestly, for a while, Ash, Dana did not like Usman because Usman come out and he won a fight and he was like, that was 30%. That was me at 30%. And he came out, he was like, what, you put 30% fucking effort into a fight? And he fucking berated him,
that's Dana's own take.
But he didn't mean that.
He
what
said,
he meant was...
all I needed was 30% to
That's
win it.
not what he meant at all.
That's what I would have said.
Dana isn't a professional fighter.
What he meant was he was
attributes.
only at 30% health in that fight.
Maybe.
He wasn't very well.
30% health is a lot. That's
No.
not
I
a lot. I don't think I've ever been at 30%.
I'd say it's dangerous to be fighting in a cage at 30% at that level.
That's possible,
Very
isn't it?
dangerous, isn't it? No, if no one was 30%, I reckon one of us might have a chance, 30% health, you know?
What, against Usman?
Well, yeah, 30%. That's quite a big percent.
30%'s pretty
Especially
ill,
if it's
mate.
fucking-
Mate,
No,
I'm telling you this now. I'm going to tell you this now. Usman would have to be like fatally ill, just coming out of like a fucking chemotherapy session for me to fight.
That's what I'm
to fight Usman.
I'm
He
funny,
literally
that's
just
what
had
I'm-
to have chemotherapy. For
Oh,
that fight.
That's what I'm
100%,
regarding
mate.
30% as. 10% is you're on a nebulator.
Wild boy.
5% you can't open your eyes. Like, think about what 30% is, mate.
10%, you're on thin fucking ice, my pedigree chums.
30%'s pretty fucking low, mate.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Mate, this game, mate, there's going to be another goal between one of these two teams. And honestly, it could be Chelsea because they're still coming at them. It's back and forth. It's a really good game to watch.
Mate,
it really is.
It's nice. It's nice to hear you say that.
It is. I mean, actually enjoying watching the game. I ain't been speaking that much, so I've been watching it. But they've been back and forth, back and forth. I don't know. There's going to be a goal. I don't know what way it's going to go, but I reckon there's going to be another goal.
Hopefully it be for the Blues.
True. Did you say you want to see Izzy Usman?
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I'll put that state that would never happen.
Yeah,
I'll put that as Usman
and
takes
Wallin.
his first ever loss. I don't think Usman even gets remotely close.
Usman might get lit up a bit.
I've got to disagree with you on that.
It all depends. I don't think Usman's going to want to stand up with Izzy in that.
No
So
way,
if he can
is
get
it?
Izzy
No
down,
way.
he might win.
I think
Not a
Usman
chance.
beats him. I'm a massive Izzy fan.
I think Usman beats him as well.
Mate, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
that's the only way.
Have you seen it?
Mate, he's also got a puncher's chance as well. He can punch as well now.
Let me ask you a question then.
Nah, I don't know.
Compared to Jan,
Yeah.
how strong do you think Usman is if he's fighting at middleweight?
What do you mean by
In
strong?
comparison, because like
Jan's light heavyweight.
Jan's a light heavyweight, and
Right.
he absolutely manhandled Izzy. At middle, no one's really manhandled Izzy. Like people
No,
tried to take
he
him down, but no one's
Usman's a
manhandled
welterweight.
him.
but like,
Usman's a welterweight, but if he's at middle, how
He'll be
strong is he?
strong,
gonna be?
motherfucker.
we talked about this with the Izzy Jan fight. We said about how I don't think I think Izzy stood like just in front of Jan, and I don't think he fought in the right way at all.
Yeah.
I think he stood in front of a guy that's got the most perfect basic strike, got it down.
Yeah.
Why wasn't
Fundamentally
it
sound.
fundamentally as good as you can get? So why do you stand in front of someone with perfect fundamentals? Why aren't you cutting angles, doing those things? Look at what John Jones does with people with perfect fundamentals.
Yeah.
He does weird shit, doesn't he? He throws kicks, he does stuff, he shows
elbows on the break,
does
all
stuff,
sorts
right?
of shit. Yeah.
What's he good at? He's good at mixing that shit up.
Yeah.
And he didn't do fuck all in terms of mixing that up. He stood in the box with him, took a load of strikes, got taken down, and then got overweighted effectively in that,
Yeah,
right?
he was fucked
so
when he was
I
on the
don't
floor,
think
he
that
weren't
is a
moving.
good mark
No.
For what I think, I'd love to see a rematch of Izzy Yan. I'd really like to see that because I don't think. I think when he gets to that level, personally, I don't think. Firstly, Izzy should have been. He should have had a go at Yan straight away anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think he earned that.
Yeah, I know.
I think you can go up, all the hype in all the world.
Go up
but
in
I
the
think
top
go up,
5 and
top
earn your spot.
5,
Yeah.
or even if you, if Izzy maybe top 3, maybe, but top 5 definitely.
Yeah.
You
but
need
you're
a
not to
fight.
jump straight up there. And that's the same. That's the same with John Jones.
Yeah,
I don't think John Jones
you
should
need
have
a
a fucking
fight.
dig.
No, I understand it.
Show you're going up into a class of fighters you haven't fought. Go up there, show you got a bit of grit there, and then have a go.
Yeah,
I'm
you need
not
to start at
10.
I'm not a fan of holding belts, both belts over for a division. Like
I don't mind if you're
Nunes has got.
no, I don't mind if it's going to be for like one whip round. If you know, do you understand what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Because I think that
If
double
you're
belt
going up for a
holders,
super fight.
this is a big thing in terms of like defining fighters as in their superstardom. If we want these fighters to earn loads of money, which they absolutely deserve, and a lot of them don't get it, you win a belt in one division, go up, hold it for the second one, hold it for the second one for X amount of fights.
Yeah.
Sweet. But if you're not going to go back down, which realistically you can't, at some point you've got to drop it, and you've got to drop it probably after like 2, I'd say like 2 title fights.
Yeah.
Drop the old one. You've got it, you've done it, you've got the accolade,
I look
and
at
then
it,
move onwards.
I look at it like,
Because McGregor
are
did
you
it,
going
didn't he?
up? Are you going up? If you go up in a weight class and you take a belt from someone, then I think you should vacate that belt if you're gonna stay there.
What if you've emptied that weight class though, like we've seen with McGregor, like emptied it?
Yeah.
No, John Jones emptied that weight.
So there's no defining
there's
contender.
No defining contender.
Yeah.
That's what the interim belt is for, really.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'll give him that. Interim fight, hold that for 2, drop it, sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely think that you should be able to hold it.
Yeah.
But not for long.
Do you know what I've been thinking as well? Like I actually agree with you. I think if you go up, I don't think it's healthy for a fighter to constantly be squabbling, especially with some of these UFC weight classes, yeah?
Well, how many fighters drop between the 2 fights constantly to defend them? How many people are going to defend that one, then defend that one?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem having the belts if you're doing that.
But
if you're fighting regularly. No, they
But
don't
I think
really,
you
do they?
hold up. I think you
Nunes
hold
is
up a
the most-
division.
Yeah, that's the
He's
problem.
I
do,
think you do hold up a division because
Yeah,
you're
that is
like
the problem
you're like
with it.
okay, I've beaten all the contenders. Yeah, I'm the number 1 contender, but I can't have a fight because you're fighting that person in that division. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Well,
then
that's
all of a sudden,
That's what the interim's for.
Yeah, that's
but
what
when the
that's
interim
for.
when the interim belt's been got, then say defended. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you've defended your interim belt, and then you want to fight the actual holder of that weight division belt, and you can't, that's yours.
yeah, okay. So
Right,
it's like
that's-
come down and fight.
Come
or-
down and
or
fight.
it's-
If you can't, it's mine. And it should be not you have to fight again for it. That should be your God-given right because your interim belt actually is a representation of that belt
Of that
anyway.
belt. Yeah, I'm with
So
you.
I think that should be it.
I'm not against
but I'm
that.
not saying you can't hold it, but it needs to be held until someone's defended the interim twice.
Do you know
yeah,
what?
well,
That's
that's
Do you know
when
what?
The
Yeah,
champ
that makes
should be,
sense.
whoever's the champ is should be said you got this amount of time before you defend it, or should be stripped of
But
it.
then the time frame
the
is
only
funny,
way, innit?
isn't it? Like we said about in the last time I was here, was with McGregor nigh on begging Dana White for a fight, and Dana White didn't give him to him
Because
until he
it's
ended up
money.
in the most shitstorm trio of fights you could have got in for
Here's-
someone that
alright.
hadn't had any ring time.
All right, let me propose something, for the light weight division, Okay, so you've got Chandler, McGregor, Poirier, Charles Oliveira. Any other names in that hat? Gaethje,
Gaethje, 100%.
Gaethje, yeah. I think we need a tournament.
Ferguson.
Yeah, that Bellator do it, don't they?
Honestly, why can't we have like
Bellator do it.
pick 8
They do-
fighters?
they do a Grand Prix, don't they?
Because
Have
the
a tournament.
because the UFC structure wouldn't allow that amount of fighters to fight in that short period of time and then not have things lined up for the next 6
But
months.
you do it like they do in boxing, When they have like the Super 8 in boxing, it'll be this fight happens and the next one will be 3 months down the line.
but
So
in
it's not like
boxing,
it's all
someone
done
ain't
on one
having
night.
Their shin snapped in half. Like, they're not having their fucking head caved in with an elbow for fucking 30 seconds before the ref stops it. Like, the margin of health issues.
But they've done it. But they've done it before, and they still do it in Bellator. Like,
but the standards.
Bellator's fucking. I think Bellator are better how they do their things.
I think their promotion on
better.
what they do and things. I would love to see that. Could you imagine all those names getting picked in? They don't even. They don't even assign it. They literally draw it. So it's like McGregor versus boom, 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 and you got this. You got this 8 fucking of all the top 8.
It would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
How does that then affect? Like we just had a conversation about belt holders.
So
you've got these things that are held up, and then they get chucked into this mega mix.
But Khabib's vacated,
and then they go, oh well, he's had a fight, and he's holding the belt. Now he's being chucked into this. There's another 6 months at least before we can do that again.
Khabib has just vacated, so the tournament would be with the top 8.
No,
so all of these people.
That takes away the people that deserve to be up there.
But who is the clear contender for that? It's Poirier. No, it's Poirier. It's Poirier, and Poirier's chosen not to fucking fight for it. So now you've got Chandler, who's come from Bellator.
Money fight,
who's Poirier fighting next?
McGregor.
And why is he doing that?
Because it's red panty night.
Exactly. You fucking know it.
But my point
this is fundamentally, Khabib is one of the only ones, sorry. So one of the only ones that ultimately isn't doing it for money.
Yes.
He really isn't. Right, and then we know that because of the amount of opportunities he's had to make tens of millions of dollars and hasn't. Now, there ain't another one in there that ain't doing that. They're I'm doing it for the money, mate.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Khabib, undefeated, smashed everyone, fucked off, done. Yeah. And I got millions of dollars.
But if Poirier doesn't want that title fight because he wants the money fight,
they all want the money.
They've given it to Chandler and Oliveira. They're going to be fighting for the title.
Well, do you not think Poirier was offered that?
Of course he was.
Yeah, no.
Well, of course it was, but my point is, if someone's vacated, you've got one clear contender who you'd say, okay, Poirier is the guy that if you're going to give a title fight to, it should go to Poirier. He's the number one contender for me, and I think it would be hard for anyone to argue against that.
I think Gaethje's in the mix for that.
Yeah, but he's already beaten Gaethje.
Yeah, who beat Gaethje?
Poirier did.
Oh, yeah, he did,
So he's got that win over Gaethje, who I would say is the number 2.
That,
So Poirier's the number one contender, the clear fight. He doesn't want that fight. Say, okay, let's do a fucking tournament then, yeah? Boom, boom, boom.
I forgot about that. So Gaethje I don't think he had a single takedown attempt, did he? In that fight?
He got because
I thought he was going to try and wrestle him.
Well, no, the fight was quite a good fight.
I don't think people.
Both
he was.
It was a war.
But I don't think people understand how big.
War, mate.
I don't think people understand how big Poirier is.
Oh yeah, but Gaethje's tanked and all.
Gaethje kicked the fuck out of his legs in that fight.
He did.
He was getting to the point where Gaethje kept kicking him, and Poirier's looking at him like, "Why are you still kicking me?" And then he just come out of nowhere.
He's one of the most painful things to watch.
I'll tell you exactly what's going on with that lightweight belt. Yeah, Poirier's gone. Nah, I'm fighting McGregor to earn the dough. Yeah, because he knows that. If he beats McGregor, which in his head he thinks he's going to,
and could.
Right, and as soon as that happens, he knows he'll fight the winner for the title. So in his eyes, it's a win-win, isn't it? What point me going straight for the title? I might as well just fight McGregor, make the money, beat McGregor, and then fight for the title.
And then sail off into the sunset,
exactly.
go away.
And then retire.
But that's also a dangerous fight for him, though. It's not guaranteed he's going to beat McGregor.
No, but in his head, he'll think
100%.
You know, in his head, he'll be thinking, I'm going to beat him.
Not only that,
but so all of them.
In his head, what does he think about winning that belt? Because he might be like, nah, look, Khabib's the champion. Sort of thing.
I think
in his head, he's just
thinking,
but it's a really tough thing to know that you got absolutely dominated by someone and then they retired and then you become the champ afterwards. In my head, I'd always be like,
but everyone knows that. But he's a GOAT.
He's
a GOAT. And on that, on the GOAT front, we talk about Usman now.
Yeah,
he's working his way up.
He's talking about Usman. How many more wins has Usman got put on his belt?
2 more
before he's
welterweight
properly in.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Him now versus GSP in their prime. It'd be a dope fight, but like how well
GSP does him.
This is what I think as well. I think GSP's too smart. Like GSP's too smart.
I think GSP is just as good as Usman is, as strong as he is, and as much as he's developed his striking, you're still talking about the aspects he's growing to that GSP's already got.
Yeah.
GSP's already got the wrestling. He's already got the grappling. He's already got the striking, and he's already got the strength. They're all there.
GSP's a scholar,
with that
though.
right hand.
GSP is a scholar.
Yeah.
He is so fucking... Yeah, but GSP's fought fucking bangers before.
Oh, well, he's fought everybody.
Yeah.
He's fought everybody, and he's weathered the storms of some of the most hard-hitting, most savages. I know we saw that cracking strike from Usman, and I know we saw that cracking, those jabs in his fruit, but Usman wasn't a striker.
Nope.
You would not want to have been bringing Usman striking in outside the last couple of years, last couple of fights.
Yeah, it's only the last few
fights. So I know we're jumping into this, but he weren't.
Yeah.
He can't go, well, he got that one, got that one.
Here. Oh,
Right. GSP's been in there with the best strikers that have ever been.
Yeah.
And beaten them at multiple weight classes.
And also,
say, though, isn't it?
And also, he had to.
It's hard to call
unfortunately,
that.
that's a fight we're never going to win.
But this is the point of this, isn't it?
Never going to
happen, mate.
Also,
to speculate.
That's all it is speculation.
Also, he's fought very similar to fighter to Usman because Matt Hughes is that ilk.
Matt Hughes is.
I
loved Matt Hughes.
And Matt Hughes is what you call something that you'd call farmer strength.
Oh, dude, that guy survived being hit by a train.
Yeah,
that actually happened.
Fucking bonkers.
He's got hit by a train in his car
and survived.
Walking around.
But that guy has farmer strength. You know what I mean by farmer strength?
Yeah.
Like when
did you see that knockout he did? Did you see that one? He peaked. I can't remember who it was that he fought.
Trigg.
And he picked
Frank
that.
Trigg.
And
you sure it's
knocked
called
him out
farmer
by
strength?
dumping him on his head.
What's that? No, never mind. Moving on. But but you know what I mean by that natural strength that farmers develop from a young age.
That takedown knockout he did, we dumped that geezer on his head.
Do you know he was out?
Oh, that was
Do you know he was out? He doesn't slam him on his head. Frank Trigg has him in a triangle choke, he lifts him up, puts him on the fence, and fucking Matt Hughes goes.
Who
he
won
passes
that
out.
fight? Who won that fight?
Matt Hughes won the fight.
Matt Hughes slammed him on his head and knocked Trigg out, But what happened in that fight is he picks him up, because he's in a triangle choke and he's trying to relieve the pressure. So he puts him up onto the fence, Then literally, Matt Hughes passes out for a second, lets go of the grip and drops Trigg, and he lands on his head. Trigg gets knocked out.
Biggest lateral muscles for anyone that
jumps on the fence.
The geezer was a walking upside down pyramid.
Matt Hughes jumped on that fence, leaned over to his corner, and went, "I was out.
Oh, fucking hell! That was close.
Where was anyone's feet then?
Oh, my mate, sorry.
That
was close. That was right there, wasn't it?
Fucking hell, mate. He needed an extra long leg there, mate.
Did, yeah.
He's 6'2", so he's...
That'd have been in.
When you needed Peter Crouch, innit?
That's exactly
6'7" long legs.
That's what I'm saying about this game could go either way, mate.
He loved the ball.
He was
they're both fucking going for it.
Right, it's a good game. I tell you what, let's move on to the fight of the night.
Oh, hang on.
No.
What's the fight of the night?
Okay. Let's move on to my fight of the night,
Go on.
Because Weili Zhang is probably the sexiest.
You're going to say that.
It's probably the sexiest female fighter in the UFC.
Was fighting.
And then you have Rose Namajunas, who is by far my favourite fighter. I was a bit worried when that started because she was taking hella leg kicks, and I was a bit like, you don't want to eat them for three fucking rounds.
Did you see Rose's kiss with old Hujma Flip before they went on? It was like a scene, Rose and what's his name?
Pat Barry.
Pat Barry,
bruv, it was like a scene out of fucking Casablanca. They gave it a fucking full smoocher. Right before she went on, I was like, she's going to
win. I got a Pat Barry figure turning up. He's a rare one on there.
He's the only
There's only
fighter.
750 made of him, bruv.
He's the only fighter that I've ever seen chilling out with his opponent, before the fight.
K1 kickboxing legend.
Pat Barry.
Geezer, you've seen some of his highlights.
Yeah.
Bruv.
He's a beast, mate.
I think it's against Chick Congo, but he had
Czech Congo,
he had one of the most interesting fights ever. He smacks Congo and he's like staggering around the ring, and Pat Barry's chasing him around the ring. He's just bashing him, and like he literally like chicken legs all around the ring, and then he literally just catches Pat Barry with a hit and knocks him out. But Barry's chasing him around the ring on chicken legs for about a minute.
So crazy.
I was like, wonder how if that was nowadays, they'd stop that.
So how long was the Rose? How long was the fight? Was it a minute and a half?
Minute and 25 or something like that. Yeah.
They'll rematch. They've got a rematch.
It's a beautiful kick,
perfect
mate.
head kick.
Right,
Perfect.
fucking unbelievable.
Just
And
perfect.
did you see how angry Weili Zhang was after that fight?
Oh,
she's marching back,
Well,
pushing her trainers like, fuck you.
Because she didn't know what happened.
No, 100%. No,
She didn't know what happened.
She was just confused. She's like, what the fuck's happening? She's running around having a go. And then all of a sudden, Joe Rogan talks about it. You don't see it, but Joe Rogan's talking about it. And he says that when they're replaying the screen, she looks up at the screen and then she smacks herself on the forehead like, oh, fuck.
But you know how sweet that kick was because if you
so she was angry at first because she thought it was like an unfair stoppage. She didn't really know what was happening.
If you see, you know how sweet it was. Because when you see the mark afterwards, it's a really faint red. But it didn't need a lot.
Just all
it was
shit.
just perfect. Like if you see like some of them big hits, they fucking juice up and everything, don't they? No, tiny little red blemish, but it was perfect.
Yeah,
so clean.
And it was like
clean.
It was the time. It was the timing of it. It was the timing.
Weili Zhang, you see Weili Zhang. She knows she's fucked. Yeah, when that kick comes in, because you see her hands just slightly move to go down to check the low leg kick, and then all of a sudden you can see in her face, and she realises that's coming to her head. Bam!
Yeah, she was
good night.
So good.
She was in trouble.
People, I don't think Rose gets enough respect for how heavy of a striker she is, because she
look what she did
when she wins the title. Jan Jacek, when she wins the title, she fucking wins it in some style.
Knocks her out.
She's reciting the Lord's Prayer while she's beating her up with the
she's a savage, mate.
Yeah, that's because fucking I'm the boogie woman. I'm the boogie woman. You won't be saying that at the end. And then she beat her in the second fight, and Jan Jacek wouldn't have it. I was like, shut up, you got beat. Both of them fights. You got beat,
100%. And then when Rose lost the title, she said to Rose, she was like, it's a bit of a relief. She said because I didn't like the feeling of being constantly chased. And then when she won against Weili Yang, she said, but Pat Berry's
close him down.
Pat Berry's saying, you are the best, and he's mantraing it to her. You are the fucking best in the world, mate.
She's got real confidence. Did you see what she was like after the whole McGregor bus incident?
Yeah.
She was like proper
really shaken up. Really shaken up. Yeah.
And it's the false idea that everyone in the UFC is like thuggish.
Well, it's
they're
weird
not.
because
Do you know what I mean? Some of them are proper athletes.
In her interview on the Joe Rogan experience, she was saying about how she used to be able to clock because she grew up in a really gnarly neighbourhood.
Yeah.
And in her interview on Rogan, she was saying that she used to clock when that feeling you get in a club or a pub, and suddenly like the energy turns, doesn't it? And you're like, hang on, Saints
about to go down.
And she used to clock it early, and she'd be like, no, I'll be the first one to leave. And then I'll find out half hour, an hour later, it all kicked off in there. So she had that. She's got that thing where she doesn't like that whole thing. And and you see her afterwards when they show you the backstage footage of her, and she's bouncing around like a girl that's just won a fucking modelling competition. You're like, you just kick the shit out of someone.
Yeah, not someone.
Like,
that
not
Chinese
just someone.
bird is a fucking animal.
No
joke. He's an explosive animal, mate.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me.
Mate,
I didn't see that coming, did you?
Not like that. Not like that. Just
unbelievable.
I tell you what though, that girl that done Rose Namajunas, that Jessica Andrade, she's the one
She
who
was getting pieced up by her before she slammed her.
Mate, she was
getting beaten up bad.
She was getting proper pieced up, yeah. And then in the second fight they had, Rose just pieced her up, but she beat her because she slammed her on the head.
That's it.
And that's what she needs to do. She needs to get hold of people. She'll be coming back down to Rose's weight class after what fucking Shevchenko just did to her.
Yeah.
She took her strength and she just took it away.
Let's talk about the Shevchenko fight, can we?
She couldn't pick Shevchenko up.
Let's talk about Shevchenko fight.
Let's talk about Shevchenko.
Let's talk about maybe one of the most exciting fighters.
She's one of the sexiest and all, I think.
Man or woman, across the board, probably one of the most exciting fighters today.
I agree with you.
Who saw that coming?
I'd say she's up there. Like I said before, Rose is my favourite fighter. She's one of them. Just because
saw
technique.
that coming?
She's amazing.
She walks into the octagon, giving it this sort of semi-flamboyant, like almost like a ballet-esque style, like Russian stuff. And it's like you were playing Tekken. You know, in Tekken, where they were like, and they were going, blah, 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 do something. You'd be like, oh shit. And then she just goes, "Oh, you like wrestling? Sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck you." And just
I know a little bit
wrecks
about
this
wrestling.
thing. She fucking wrecks
There
her.
was a moment in that fight where you just know that Jessica Andrade
she
was
had
like,
nothing.
"Oh my word,
Oh
what am
my
I in
God.
with?"
Yeah.
She grabs her by the leg and she goes to lift her up.
And again,
nothing
and
happened.
And
She just
Shevchenko
leveled
literally
her
just
fancy.
pushed
Well,
her to the
what
floor.
Shevchenko did, if you watch what Shevchenko did, she moved one leg forwards.
Yeah.
And when she moved that leg forward, she put her weight in a different position. So when she did, she couldn't go anywhere. She went, and nothing happened. You're like,
Yeah, she tried.
That probably
your
broke
game,
her a
mate.
bit. Yeah, that
Yeah.
probably broke her a bit.
You
that.
saw her give her everything, didn't you? She's
Yeah.
like, Oh,
Yeah,
nothing
she
happened.
just planted herself.
Just plant on the floor and be like, "This
You're not-
isn't
you're
going to
not
go
picking me
this
up.
way for you.
No,
I'm sorry,
no
honey."
matter how big your thighs are, because
Mate,
they are thighs of doom.
She had her in every aspect of that fight.
Every
mate. There was-
aspect.
and
there
then-
was no way.
And
There
then
was-
the ultimate in that wrestling stroke MMA situation is to put someone in a crucifix.
Oh,
They
you're
can't get up.
fucked, mate.
Do
She
you know?
can
Right,
fucking
so this is one of the
move,
things that DC was saying was when Jay Hardy's put someone in a crucifix. Did
Yeah.
you literally put them on the floor? You control them. You get over the top of their body. Then you move their own arm in between your legs.
Yeah, it's-
Don't let them go anywhere. And then
You know,
elbow
it's
them in
not
the
just
head.
that.
She ain't no mug. on the
One
floor
of the
either, that
most
other girl.
one of the
No.
most
She ain't no mug,
savage
mate.
knockouts in UFC history is
Yeah.
from the crucifix.
From the crucifix.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. Yeah,
I've seen a couple of brutal ones.
This is the most brutal. Yeah, when this game finishes, I'll get Joe to pull it up because this is the most savage. This is like early in the 90s. Yeah,
Right.
okay. The guy who's doing this is in a gi. Yeah,
Right.
and he locks someone up in a crucifix on the side and literally goes
12 sixes.
Piston from the side, literally just smashing into his head, and he knocks this guy out like savagely.
Why call
And this
that
was
piston
this
fuck?
was back in the day, well before the refs were like immediately jumping in. So you see the ref, and he's like, "How's he getting on?" He's like, "It's out, bro. It's out. He's smashing him." He's smashing him, yeah. That's fucked. When you think about it, like what the Gracies wanted for the early UFC,
Yeah.
like no ref interventions.
No ref
That's why
interventions.
Big John McCarthy was brought in, because the
Yeah.
first ref, he that fucking sumo got kicked in the face,
Well,
and he was like, "Yeah, you stopped the fight early."
They dropped the
You're
eye.
gone."
They dropped the eye gouge shortly after that.
Yeah.
because the eye gouge and the fish hook was still a thing.
Well,
and
yeah.
they also took out the hair grab.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that is it Hoist Gracie?
Yeah.
There's a footage of him literally grabbing the hair of Geezer's head and smash his head on the floor.
Yeah.
There are limits, aren't there? I mean,
Yeah,
I know
no, when
we're
it-
watching people spinning, ill kick, but you're just smashing someone's head on the floor. It's like,
When that
Yeah.
first
Well,
started, that
what we watched
UFC,
Yeah.
Mate, when that first started, that UFC, that was Rago, mate.
Oh,
that was Rago.
it was savage, wasn't it?
It was like saying out of a fuck. No, it was just
Yeah.
complete
Plus Rotten in
absolute
full wrestling
Barbara,
boots.
mate.
I know. You know,
It's a mess,
you know
wasn't it?
it's
People knocking
crazy.
people out,
You
kicking
know
them with boots
it's
on.
you know it's crazy when Baz Rutten said
Fucking
no to it.
unbelievable,
Yeah,
mate.
because they
When
went to
Rutten was
Baz
like,
Rutten.
I've had to develop the
Mate.
open palm technique to not break my knuckles because I'm bare knuckle fighting at the weekend.
Mate,
Yeah, and here's the thing. He goes like this. Yeah, they went to him. Do you want to come and fight in a rule system in
Look
a
at this
cage
prick with
with
his
no
mask on.
rules? And Baz Rutten was like, "No rules," and they're like, "Yeah, no rules." He's like, "No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
'cause I know what I'll do."
I'll stay fighting in Valley Tudo where they have a structure. You're all right."
back to that crucifix position.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That what you were saying about how hard it is to get someone in it.
Yeah.
It's not just that. If you notice, once you get them in it, it's hard to keep them in it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see the way that she kept rolling with her to keep her locked in
Yeah.
it? She'd try wiggling one way and then she'd keep her wedged. A
Yeah.
few more shots. Then she'd try another way, keep her wedged. A few more
Yeah.
shots. To keep someone in it as long as she did,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucking hard.
Absolutely.
Mate.
I
It's fucking hard.
think it was John Anik that said that Luke Rockhold had said to him before that when you've taken someone's back and you're trying to keep control, don't follow what you think you need to do. Roll with whatever they're moving.
Yeah, you just roll
And
with
you
them.
just fly. You like ride the wave.
That's it, yeah.
And you just whatever it will just show you what you need to
Yeah,
do at
you
that
just
point.
move with them. That's it.
My pal Mikey, who does a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, he fights a girl that's 17 years old, and he said, I can't get her off.
Yeah.
He's like my mate's
crazy,
30, and
Yeah,
a
that's it.
blue belt jiu-jitsu guy's been there 7 years. He said, I can't get her off my back.
Yeah,
He said she just flows over your back. He said it's like a blanket.
that's probably
And even
Like
she,
a fucking
she just
spider,
she
mate.
just rides over you. And anything you do, try and move, she's just there.
It's like drowning.
Yeah,
that's how I
dangerous
felt
shit.
when I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They took against a guy, and he was just like, after a while, he just started fucking manipulating me, and I felt like I was drowning.
Oh, you can't do anything.
Couldn't get him off.
You can't do anything. If you don't know how to, if you can't deal with that, he's the most powerless I've ever felt. I went to 3 lessons, and I was like, I don't want to do this because I'm not going to compete. I'm not going to compete, and I don't care that much. It was so demasculating. So you think you know your body.
I only
and
think
you know nothing.
I only think you should be doing jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, if you actually want to compete in MMA.
Or if you're young, I would say, if you want to defend yourself at school, because what is it? 80% of street fights end up on the ground. Learn it when you're a kid.
Here's the thing, though.
Learn it when you're a kid.
Every street fight in martial arts, that's actually effective. Things like Jeet Kune Do, Krav Maga,
Judo.
Yeah.
How many people end up hugging in a fight?
Of course. But they will tell you not to get off the floor. Like, if you're in Krav Maga, if you go down to the floor, the first thing they teach you is attack the eyes. If someone takes you down,
but you've got to be careful. You can't do that in the school.
But that's just fucking common sense, though, mate.
But you can't teach a kid to shove someone's eyesight out because you end up in a scrap at school.
The point I'm trying to make is, that in real street fighting, you do not want to be on the ground.
No, you don't even want to be in a fight. You ultimately want to just run away.
But if you are in, what I'm saying is, all the effective self-defense forms, teach you to ground is death. Because you might be, like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for instance, you're trying to get a triangle on someone, and I come out the club and I see some guy's got Shay in a triangle.
You kick him in the head.
I'm just going to stamp on his head.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck off my mate.
That's not what I was getting at. I was saying about if you're being at school, it's a really easy, pretty much non-violent way of ending a fight at school where you're not taking away the eyesight of an idiot that's 9 years old.
Okay, fair enough. How proud?
No, but you're going to break their arm in an arm.
No, that's all right. It's better than taking away their eyesight.
How proud would you be, if you go to school, you get a call from your school, and you're like, and they're like, your son's been fighting, and you go in and you speak to teacher, and you're like, what happened? He goes, there was a fight, he didn't start it, but he put him in a Kimura and put him to sleep.
I'd be proud as fuck.
I'd just be sitting there, I'm like, son, don't do that. The minute I go outside, I was like, go on, son.
I've got a 9-year-old stepson that went to jiu-jitsu. He knows exactly how to put a Kimura on and an armbar. And if he ends up in a scrap at school, no one's throwing punches at school. They'll end up in some stupid scrap on the floor, alarm bar, and the teacher come and get them off. Yeah. He ain't strong enough to break their arm, but he'll make them cry.
And also, if he's been doing martial arts, he probably knows the limits of where that arm is to break. He won't be able to have a head
triangle with his legs.
But then if he's fighting a kid that's been boxing, his dad's a boxing coach, he's going to get banged in the face hard, and then he's going to run away and cry. So,
well, it works both ways, doesn't it? At the end of the day, ultimately, you'd hope that anyone that's been trained to have a buster,
but you say
most of them wouldn't.
Boxing always deteriorates into a grappling match.
If someone has to go you.
If someone gets a nice one bang on you, bang.
Yeah, 100%. That's not a match, though. That's not a fight. That's a one punch.
I'm on about a kid's fight.
Okay, but my point is, every fight.
They just push each other.
This is what I'm trying to say. Every fight at every level, when it's on the street, whether it's professional boxers or whether it's kids, ends in a grappling match.
It mostly ends up on the floor, doesn't it?
And boxing ends up in grappling all the time. If you didn't have a ref to split it, then it would be a grappling match.
Yeah, and guess what? Grapplers would be the best boxers in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So with the thing, I always think it always ends in a grappling. Even when you see boxers at a press conference that go at it, they grapple. They grapple and they wrestle to the floor.
What about in that respect then? Taekwondo, right? You end up in a bus stop with someone and you go, right, down the park on Friday, 4 o'clock after school.
Head kick you.
And you've got some kid that knows how to do like Taekwondo. He goes down there, one kick, kid goes down like a sack of shit, and they go, yep, okay, well, we won't bully him anymore. And that's probably going to be the end of it, isn't it?
That's what the problem is, mate. Most bullies are fucking absolutely don't know all.
Don't know nothing.
Big fucking useless, tubby, fat kids that think they can go around bullying people. And that's when I think it's right for the trained kid to turn up and go, nah, fuck you. Beat the cunt out of him, leave him on the floor shaking. Go, that's for being a bully, you prick.
And make an example of him.
Yeah, that's what should happen.
That was
sorry, but I think that's right, mate. I've got bullies to get shot.
I couldn't agree more.
By no means stretching the imagination am I a trained fighter, but when I was at school...
I'll tell you are a trained talker.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck me, boy. Struggling to get a word in.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Seb. To actually communicate, you have to have something to say.
I'm more into this game than you, son.
Yeah, because I'm on a podcast trying to talk, mate. If me and Ash didn't talk, you'd just be sat in silence with that fucking tit.
We don't get a chance.
Go on, then speak.
Right, boys,
what would you like to say?
Really?
I would like to say I've been enjoying this
Ash,
game.
have you seen...
No, truthfully, I'd like to say I've been enjoying this game.
All right.
It's been an entertaining game.
Is that why you've not been talking, yeah?
Well, I have actually been watching this game quite a lot. So it has been, for Chelsea, very entertaining, I
Very
must say.
entertaining. I can't believe it's still 1-0.
That's a red.
And they've done fucking well.
I can't believe it's been... who's got a
I
card?
thought they was going to get
That's
their
a
arse
red.
smacked, Troop. I did.
No,
I really did.
I didn't think we were going to get
I
smacked.
didn't think you'd do this well.
Joe, you got
here
any
we go.
beers?
Here we go. Back to their roots.
Joe.
This is...
Back to their
This-
roots.
You got
They're
any
rolling
beers?
around the floor.
This
again.
is...
Any
Back to their
beers?
fucking diving roots.
Mate, I'm doing it now. I've told you.
Sorry,
I've told
mate.
you. I
I've
know.
got him.
Listen,
I've
listen,
got him,
listen.
mate. Look at him.
Listen,
Look
I'm
at him.
making.
No.
I'm
Hold on.
making.
He's got a spot on his face.
Listen, I'm making a compilation. I'm making a compilation of all West Ham this season diving round.
Bruv, look how he's gone down. Oh no, he did get a little headbutt to the cheek. He did get a little headbutt.
I am making a compilation of West Ham dives because you
mate.
seem to think you're the only club in the world that doesn't roll around
No,
on the
to
floor.
be fair, that was a bit more impact than what I thought when I see it back.
I agree with you though. Yeah, I hate all this like rolling round, grabbing your
Toothpick's
face.
going nuts, mate. So he's going nuts.
Why is he a toothpick?
I don't know. He just looks like one, doesn't he? That's what I fucking call him. Oh, what's his name? Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Toothpick Tuchel. I call him. Zidane looks like E.T. He looks like one of them aliens you get out of them eggs. You know them fucking eggs?
Because
That's what Zidane looks like, doesn't he? You know them embryo
because
eggs?
he's skinny,
That's
yeah?
exactly what he fucking looks like. You've got Toothpick versus E.T.
Because he's skinny, you mean, yeah?
No, just his head. His whole head just looks wrinkly and E.T.
Why is that? What? So
I'm
how,
telling you, it
if
does.
his head's like all like that and wrinkly, how the fuck are you getting a toothpick from that?
No, I'm talking about Zidane at the minute.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
okay.
Tuchel looks like... I'll just call him Toothpick because I just
Why
like the
though?
name.
That's
there
what
ain't
I'm about.
no reason for it. I just like the name. Thomas Toothpick Tuchel, right? But Zidane generally does look like one of them fucking embryo eggs. One of them slimy things that you get out of the thing with all wrinkly head and that. That's exactly what he looks like.
What, Tuchel?
No,
Listen.
is he fucking thick?
Listen. You just went. You just
Who's
said.
the other manager?
Listen. You just said Thomas Tuchel looks like a toothpick, yeah? Okay. And then I asked you why he looks like a toothpick. You then proceeded to talk to me about what Zidane looks like.
No, I told you there's no reason. I just said I just like the name for him.
There's
That's
no
what
reason.
I said I like the name for him. Yeah, I said I like the name for him, and then I said, and Zidane looks like fucking E.T.
Okay.
It's like one of them embryo eggs.
Okay.
And then you went, who? Toothpick?
Yeah, I've got you.
Toothpick?
I've got you.
Got me now, yeah?
I've got you.
Feel me,
yeah.
dog, yeah?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I definitely don't feel you.
Yeah.
But but I understand
There's
you're
a
trying to
fucking
say
foul.
something.
Look, this game, I still believe, has got to go in it. How long's left?
Nah,
Minute
mate.
and a half.
Nah, I don't.
Oh, mate.
Oh,
he got
Clothesline
him back for that one. He got him back for that one.
I don't think that's a foul.
Nah, he just run into him, didn't he?
No,
That's
he
all
didn't.
done.
He stood his ground. Look,
Yeah.
boom. Oh
What's
no, he
going
did
on?
move.
What? Oh,
he
no,
did
yeah, he
move.
sidestepped into
he
him.
did move. If he doesn't move, then I don't think it's a foul. But he definitely blocks him off there by moving in front of him.
Yeah.
But if he stays still,
Yeah, there he
Who
is.
got the keys to
is
my
they
Bimmer?
taking Ben Zimmer off? Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Well,
well.
he's off.
Did
He's got the keys to my Bimmer.
Got a minute left.
Who got the keys to
They're making a
Zimmer?
tactical change with a minute left.
That ain't a
Fucking
tactical change. It's
ridiculous.
just fucking.
I'll tell you, it's just a stupid change. That's what that is. It's a pointless change.
Unless it's on a guy of Solskjaer, in which case it was the ultimate change,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Who
and
knows?
Teddy
Fucking
Sheringham.
well.
And Teddy Sheringham back in
Oh,
the day.
yeah, back
scored,
in the day, last 30 seconds.
Champions League, come up one
Why do they make these changes with a minute left? True. Why do you reckon they do it? Because I ain't got fucking
Pitch
Scooby.
time.
Why would they? 1 minute left. Like, if I was a substitute and they went, right, come on, you're on, and you got a minute left, I go, don't waste my fucking time. I've got to stay on the bench, mate.
Yeah, then
What do
you
think
wouldn't.
I am a prick.
Then you
Fuck
probably
off.
wouldn't be playing for the rest of the season.
I
mate.
don't care. I'm a prick. I'd rather not.
Yes, get
Hey,
on.
I'd rather not play than go on for a minute and then a minute later come back off. Get my kit soaking wet for fuck all. I have to have a shower. I've been fuck you, bollocks.
No, in that sort of sense.
I've been doing stuff.
In that sort of sense,
minutes.
you don't think about it. It is pissing down with rain. You'd be looking at your manager going, "Oh, do me a favour, boss." Pissing down.
Come on, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even like it's 90th minute. It's the 92nd minute they've swapped over.
What if it's a free kick? You get everyone in the box. You just want to score that last guy. Get Freshie on. That's good for headers.
Fair enough. You
Something
put,
like
you
that,
put
do you know what I mean?
your biggest fucking giraffe on
If
and you
you're-
throw him in the box.
Yeah.
But there weren't even none of that. Oh, here we go. Unless he scores now and then it'd be...
But if you're...
That's it. It's gotta be,
they'll watch. They'll score now
That's
because
gotta be
it's
time,
because it's
man.
past 3 minutes.
Do you reckon?
100%. They'll score now. This is the kind of shit that happens to Chelsea. They'll
Ah,
go
no,
six,
it's over.
six
Shut up.
minutes in
Six-
extra
Ah,
time
yeah.
until they score.
You've had a good result there,
Mate, Ash, as Chelsea have been fucked over in this tournament more than anyone I've seen, mate. Because you've got Spanish clubs like Barcelona that pay for it.
Out. Listen, mate.
I'm not
You are
surprised-
going to say
Can we,
that.
can,
ain't
we, can we talk, please, about Weidman's broken leg?
Oh, please. I've been itching to
no.
talk about this, man.
Go on, Sam.
mate.
No, it's
Go on,
fucking
you know- you know
nasty.
what?
with you,
Let's
I'm
talk
with you.
about
Let me-
River, I feel
I'll
sorry
talk
for the
you-
man.
I'll
Nasty,
talk you
man.
through how it happened, right? Basically, when he's kicked him in the leg, Weidman didn't even realise when he kicked him. Like, you see Weidman's face go "Oof," as if to say, "Core that hurt."
He didn't know he'd done it,
but
did
he knew it'd hurt him. 'Cause you see him go "Oof," like. But it's when he puts his foot back and his leg just goes like a Wellington boot. You know, like the top of a welly when it's all floppy. And then that's when he realised what the fuck had
It's
happened.
not.
mate.
It's not so much that. It's the fact that this part of his leg on the top, just below his knee, was touching the ground, and his foot was fucking off to the left.
You know it's bad
Oh,
when the
no,
UFC
like,
only
oh,
done
mate.
one replay. They replayed it once with a warning.
Yeah,
That's how bad that was.
yeah.
Now, when Anderson Silva done a flying knee on, I can't remember who it was. It was good old time ago. He had a flying knee on someone. I can't remember. It's about 3.5 minutes into the fight, and he put his knee a third of the way into this geezer's skull. It was horrific. It was horrific. They replayed that about 15 times.
There's the most.
It was when the geezer gets pushed out on the trolley. There was no facial features definitive. It was a swollen plum on the face.
The one I've seen, that is the worst injury I've witnessed.
That was the Weidman one's the worst for me.
No,
that was the worst one.
The worst
Well,
one I've
him and
seen
Anderson
was in a
Silva pretty
Bellator
similar.
fight
Oh, not
Can't know
really
which one
stupid
you're
by a
on.
guy called MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his
He
full
done it to
his full name.
geezer called Cyborg.
Yeah, he done it.
I
He done
remember.
it. He done it to some fucking bald-headed, like Eastern European dude who
Yeah.
looked mustard, and he literally, the guy comes in for a takedown, and he comes up for a knee.
That was
and
how his skull
and
went.
he crushed this part of his head in, so
Like
he
that.
crushed all his skull in. The bloke literally turns, falls down, holding his face, yeah, and then MVP gets a Pokemon ball out and rolls it at him.
Fuck off, does
and
he?
goes, "Gotta catch him off."
Fuck off, does he?
God.
Right.
What
After
the
that's
fuck?
happened.
He fucking
Did he
cracks
know
him.
what he'd done?
No,
Was he
not
aware of
to
it?
that extent. He
Yeah,
think he
fuck.
just fucks
Oh,
him up, yeah.
Jesus,
But he
mate.
literally knees him in the head, crushes his
How
skull,
about that, though?
and
The
then throws a
fir-
Pokeball at him.
the first thing thrown, man. The first thing thrown.
Joe, do me
And
a
he
favour,
snaps
quick.
his leg round his leg like that.
I know,
Like,
mate.
I
Do me
mean,
a
that
favour.
is just brutal. And do you know what? It's a bit of a shame
Go
because
on
I'd
to
like to
Google,
see
yeah?
what shape Weidman was in.
Mate,
It would have
no.
been
Exactly. Apparently,
Because,
he trained fucking hard for it.
because who's he fighting?
What? Who did he fight? You Royal Hall, wasn't it?
Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
That's now put him 4-0. He's only going to be one. He only needs another win.
Yeah.
And he's looking at a title fight.
Yeah, he's Yeah, he's not.
This is a fucking crucifix finish.
All right, then let's have a look. Let's have a look.
This, just your noise. Pay for premium.
Who's this fucking idiot talking on here?
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Well, is this
Big Daddy Goodrich.
Yeah,
Goodrich.
Big Daddy Goodrich, and oh my god, this is the most savage crucifix knockout you'll see.
What's this? Is this back in the day?
This
when
is like
is
back-
this in
back-
the
look,
UFC?
look,
This
yeah,
UFC,
yeah, look. There's down in the bottom corner. You've got fucking
So
what's his name?
looking at-
Ulti man.
Looking at
Ulti.
the height of that case
Yeah.
there, that geezer's got to be 6'2".
Gary Goodrich was a big dude.
Big Daddy Goodrich. He's got to be about 6'2", but look how thick he is.
He looks like that geezer at the Green Mile.
He does, doesn't he? John Coffey.
Yeah, he does look like.
That the drink only spelt different.
Oh,
Look at the size difference. Look.
Yeah, well,
there's
this
no-
is when they were open weight fights. This
Yeah.
was. Yeah, look, watch. Here it comes.
can't
Ready for it? Watch
see
it.
it.
Watch it. It comes. Look, he puts him in a savage crucifix. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a reverse crucifix.
yeah,
That's
that ain't the
savage.
crucifix she had.
Yeah,
on
you're
this.
Then watch this.
Fuck
Watch this.
there, boy.
Yeah,
Watch
look.
this. Watch
Look at
this.
Fucking
That's
hell.
Big John McCarthy there.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Mate, he
Oh,
was getting
my God.
fucking-
And that's how you beat
Oh
someone
my
up,
God.
really.
That's, I told you.
What's that about not fighting on the
Bit
floor?
naughty, wasn't it?
Fuck me, look at that.
If I saw some geese do that, I'm not going to
I
run
think
over
the
them and try
first
and
one
kick
they
them in
hit
the
him
head.
KO.
I'm
No, seriously.
That dude's out by the first or second
Yeah.
hit.
Oh,
on that
yeah.
helmet. The thing is, he is flexing his whole weight
Yeah,
into that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the whole. You can see the compression from his
Yeah.
whole
Look
body.
But
at
that's-
him celebrating the lunatic.
But
Look.
I still don't think that's comparable to like what you see in the last UFC. Was it the what's his name? Rainbow hair. Oh,
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley. When that didn't get that didn't get stopped. Then he went back. Then come down with that giant fucking hammer fist. Their head's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
just
that's-
compressing into the ground, and that was one of 2 fights. If I oh yeah, and was it the Ngannou?
That was in
Ngannou
Ghana.
Ngannou.
hammer fisted.
Yeah, like
Stipe
Troop
as
said,
well.
Did,
that
same
was
thing.
that was
They were-
attempted murder.
It was fucking attempted. You couldn't be more true. If that was in any other facet, that's like, oh, you tried to kill him.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't
sure.
need to do that. Like,
sure.
now that, like you say, I get it, that flex, but like that head's still got somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You put someone's head on the deck and punch
Yeah,
them.
that energy
Yeah.
ain't
You
going
are just
nowhere.
going, you're squashing their brain.
Yeah.
Like, that is savage.
That is what
And
that
there
is
was-
what Andrade was getting
I
as well,
watched-
because she
I
was
wa-
getting elbowed from the top
Yeah,
down
yeah.
by.
Yeah, I watched a podcast
Shevchenko,
today,
yeah.
and they looked at the worst the worst injury sustained in boxing, and one geezer had his brain dislodged from the lining of his skull.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
hell.
problem with
When you get to that point of an impact, and that's in boxing, that's
problem-
not on the deck.
the problem with boxing is that in the UFC, this is why less people die in the UFC than die in boxing. Yeah, is because
They're quicker knockouts.
because when you go down as well, it's like bang, you're down. Yeah, the person jumps on you and finishes you. So you're going to take 1 or 2 extra punches. Yeah, you might in boxing go boom. Survive your 10 count, get up, ref goes down.
How many times
you
you see the
survive
count
for a
out?
couple of seconds and you make it to the corner. Next round you come out and then you survive and you're with it, but you take another 4 or 5 rounds of punishment, and then by
Constant
the end of that,
headshots and all.
headshots, and by the end of it, your
trauma.
brain's swelling. Yeah, so you go out of that fight and you're like, whoa. And the worst matchup,
And the dehydration aspect as well.
yeah, but the worst matchup you can get, and people die, lots of people die. This is the matchup that you die when you have a heavy fucking hitter that's outclassing someone with a solid fucking jaw. Yeah, when the fights I've seen,
Oh, I see what you mean,
where
yeah.
like someone's dishing out punishment, they're getting schooled. Yeah, they're schooling someone, but this person is so
Big
tough
country.
that they
But
take
what's his name? Big
hits.
country.
Big country.
What's his name? Do you know what I mean? Don't you?
No, big country.
Yeah, Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson,
He
yeah.
has the strongest jaw
Yeah,
ever.
fucking
But
unbelievable.
the impacts that geezer took, because
Yeah.
he took so much.
Yeah.
He got through rounds just by not getting knocked out. Not
Yeah.
because he was winning anything.
No.
They just couldn't knock him out. But the
he could bang
injuries,
and all.
he could bang. But like
Yeah.
the injuries he sustained, Tank Abbott,
Tank Abbott,
he
yeah.
had a jaw on him.
Yeah, and you
Like,
listen to these guys, and they're fucking slow in the head.
You
a
only
bit
got to
now,
listen
yeah?
to these NFL
Oh, I
boys,
ain't
mate.
surprised.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
surprised, yeah.
Well, do you know what? I had a debate with someone recently on the NFL.
You surprised me. You had a debate.
I know, mad that one. And he goes to me, rugby. He goes, you couldn't do that in rugby. I said, he said you couldn't fucking have rugby like that. And I said, listen
That's the
to him.
MMA argument,
I said,
isn't it?
if you take off the fucking helmets,
Yeah.
none of you are going to be clashing heads.
No.
because none of
Well,
you are going to
in
fucking
a
be
scrum, you
diving
will.
in head first, head to
no.
head contact. It's that little helmet that you've got on that gives you this sense of security, which is causing all these injuries.
You know
if you
they
took it
reckon
away, you
that
wouldn't
since they
happen.
took away the leather helmets in I think the 60s or 70s and started making them out of fiberglass and different plastics, they said that's when it got worse.
Yeah.
because there's Brendan Sharp who does the below the belt. He was an NFL player before he joined the UFC.
Yeah.
They said that after training they would do a thing where they should get in your bell rung, and each one of them would line up at the other end of the pitch, run full sprint, and run head into each other. And the ones that were standing would then run back to the other end, and you fight the next one. And whoever was left standing at the end was like, that's what they did at the end of training weekly.
Yeah.
But this is like
That's pretty fucked, isn't it,
thought
really,
was
if you think about
conditioning.
it?
That's the thing. They thought it was a
Crazy,
form of
innit?
conditioning. You're actually just cracking heads.
Yeah.
Now, you can put a helmet on someone, all right, they haven't cracked their skull, but that head, the velocity, like you see what happens with someone in a car, when a car crashes, you're moving in that car, aren't you?
That helmet ain't going to
That's
help you
what
that
your
much. That's
brain's
giving you a
doing,
false
isn't
sense of security.
Absolutely,
That.
Yeah.
So and that's why that sport is done that way. But you look, you hear some of these rugby players, they're like articulate. They can like communicate. These NFL boys that've been doing it through high school and college. They're fucked, and they've got we said this earlier on. 2-year career for a lot of them. That's the average.
Yeah, exactly.
2 years.
2 to 4 years, especially
Then
if
you
you're
want a high pay package for
I
that,
watched
then.
this thing,
Yeah,
and it is a
that's for
tight
sure.
end.
But you don't get paid in college.
Because recently,
that'd be
Tampa
professional
Bay,
career.
Florida team, they won the Super Bowl, with Tom Brady, and he brought someone back called Gronkowski, who plays tight end, Now, he basically, which basically means he has to run off and and level people, Most tight ends have a 4-year career, and everyone's like, "Oh, Gronk's amazing. He's been around for 8." It's like, yeah, but what's his body gonna be like at the end of his fucking life? He's 31 years old, just
Mate,
retired.
after their career's finished, what do they do job wise? Are they financially sorted?
No,
most
mate,
of
they're all
Well, sounds of it, they're
lots of them go
by
bankrupt.
the time they're up into the NFL, they're already doing the giant cars, the big houses, all that stuff. They're already in debt because they're already living well beyond their means. Then they try and become pundits, coaches. What do you think football players do?
Yes.
Like, for the vast majority of them,
successful.
but
Some of them do.
But if you look
Same
at the
with the UFC.
yeah, same with the UFC, but it's a few in comparison. On the UFC, the UFC right now is a 500 fighter roster.
Yeah.
You're looking at 10 that are making legit money out of just fights.
but even
DC, you've got DC, you've got a few of the others that are doing podcasts. Charles Solin's probably now making more money out of his podcasts over the next 4 or 5 years than he would have done in his entire fight career.
That's because the UFC is greedy, mate.
It's horrific.
100% greedy. If you look at what boxers get paid,
mate, you
compared
don't
to
even
what
have
the
to look that
UFC
far.
get paid.
You've only got to look at Dana White's last comments last year when he said that the fighters in the UFC should be honoured to be fighting in the UFC. He's quite. They should be honoured to be fighting. Not you're not paying for the because when you see a fighter earn so let's say he earns $150,000 for instance, right? Out of that, his entire all his cornermen get paid. All the backlog of their training for all that's all paid off by that. Then everything leading up to their next fight has got to be covered by that amount of money before their next fight. They are not paid a lot of money.
Paid more in Bellator.
And this is
Bellator
and this is what I'm. This is what I say.
You're ONE FC.
If you look at the rise of anything,
money.
it rises better through competition. So the bigger Bellator gets, the more money that UFC fighters will get. If you can get another promotion out there which challenges the dominance of the UFC, then you get that because you'll get competition. In which case they'll start paying more.
True, they're always going to struggle because when those fighters come out at Bellator and they're doing well, the one place they want to go is the UFC.
Yes,
and Bellator and ONE FC get the back end of like these other fighters, like for instance Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
right. Mighty Mouse, I think lost 1, maybe 2 fights in UFC and then moved.
Yeah,
right. And he was on the back of. Is it a 17 fight win?
Well, I mean,
something absurd.
He lost to Cejudo, but before that, he'd been like, I think it was like 12.
Oh, it was massive. It was crazy.
I think he had like 12 title defenses, and I think he had like 17 fight winning streak or something like that.
And the fight he had before Cejudo, he'd done that flying armbar thing, didn't
arm
he?
whizzer.
That
mighty
crazy
whizzer,
thing.
yeah.
And we're like, oh my God. But the guy he was fighting was like...
Ray Borg, his name.
Yeah, Ray Borg. But at that point, he was quite young, wasn't he? And
he was no idiot though.
No idiot. But in terms of where Mighty Mouse was, Mighty Mouse at that point was in the conversation for greatest pound fighter of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. But the other thing on the injury front, Fruit.
Yeah,
the knee kick.
Was horrible to see as well.
It's a shame because I'd have loved to have seen that fight carry on.
Absolutely,
it was playing out to be a right good fight.
He looked good for it and all, didn't he? He looked right up for it.
He was game for it.
He was game for it. He didn't want to give in, did he? He was walking up to the doctor.
But he kept rolling on his ankle, and I was like,
and just the catch of that nerve, wasn't it? I said he just hit it so sweet behind that knee. It just and when they got the review from, so you got a bit of news afterwards after the fight, so I've given you a little bit of how the fight was getting on. So he's doing all right. He's recovering all right.
Yeah.
It was like it's one of them that he's probably going to be fine in a week.
He was eating his jab and all like Crook was getting jabbed lovely.
I don't think Anthony Smith looked all that.
Anthony Smith, wasn't it? That's it.
I don't think he looked all that.
Yeah,
no.
he was.
That's the one. That's the one fight I've
jab.
not seen. The Anthony Smith one.
I'd have liked to have seen the next 2 rounds. What would have happened?
Yeah.
Mate, I think they're both.
So what? I don't actually know what happened. Did the guy injure his leg? Did he?
Anthony Smith. It was a low leg kick, and he caught him behind the knee. And as he caught him behind the knee, he pinched a nerve. And what happened was, as his leg went back, his leg just wasn't having none of it. No muscle damage, nothing. His leg just gave out
and he kept rolling on his ankle every time he stands.
So he just switched his leg off.
How about this? He gets caught with a leg kick. Anthony Smith sees his leg go, moves in on him as Crook moves back. Crook then changes, drops onto his right leg, then goes in for a takedown, successfully takes Smith down in a takedown, then fucking actually dominates him.
He wins the
for
rest
the rest
of that round
of the
on the
fucking
floor,
fight, fighting with one leg nigh on off the deck in a takedown position. Superb bit of fighting.
It was clever.
Superb,
he did win
really
the rest of the
clever.
round doing that.
Oh, mate. I've got so much respect.
And then what? He didn't come out for the next round.
Well, they couldn't. They wouldn't let him. They thought he was all right. Doctor
walk.
stood there as Crook got up. Crook walked towards him. Oh, right, I'm ready. And as he stepped backwards, his leg went again. And Doctor went, nah.
He punched the cage with the ump and fell over.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. Every time he stepped back, he was rolling his ankle.
You could see it was that nerve thing. He just caught it in the back.
Leg off.
Just switched it off.
I think Crook could have come back and won that fight.
Absolutely, but
It was close.
can't take away from Anthony Smith.
No, he
Perfectly placed kick.
and all.
Yeah.
You can't get better than that, can you?
Nah.
He
switched him off.
I switched his leg off.
I turned him off.
Jab,
He can't stand up.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucked.
All Anthony Smith would
potentially be
ever
a
have to
good
do
fight,
after that happened
that's
was
what
just
I mean.
back up.
Back up, yeah.
And he would just fell
Just
over.
keep circling him,
Well, he
yeah.
wouldn't have been able to do anything.
He wouldn't have been able to
No,
chase him.
nothing.
Eventually, he's going to go down, and the minute he goes down, you're just going to jump into side control, and then just fucking.
It was in that
just
respect.
working.
We shouldn't take away from Anthony Smith. It was the most perfectly placed kick
it was.
anyone that was trying to kick someone's leg would ever want to achieve. That ultimately is the goal.
Yeah, that's what you. That's
Get
what
that,
you're in there
bang,
for.
Knock it out.
That's what you're in there for.
And if you could do that regularly,
away.
you'd be like the most lethal leg kicker in the world.
Anthony Smith's like a really
He
odd
done
one
so well
because
against. I think he done really well against John Jones.
yeah, he did, but it's an interesting one because you kind of look at him as if he's a newbie in a way, don't you? Because you've not heard his name. He's had like fucking 50 odd fights.
He's been there years,
Been
mate.
there eons. But he's always been like prelims and stuff like that, and then now he's like in the last
beat some
4 or
big
5.
names.
I think he's in the limelight though.
In the last like 4 or 5 years he has, but I mean he's had like 50 odd fights, and then he's only really risen to prominence in his last kind of few fights really.
He beat fucking how do you pronounce his name? Gustafsson or whatever his name is. He submitted him.
Gustafsson.
He submitted him. And he's a fucking good fighter.
Gustafsson's really good.
He's one of my favourites.
He's beat Glover Teixeira or Glover. And Glover's fighting for the title soon against Yan.
Yeah.
And now that John Jones ain't there, there's no reason why he can't fight for that title.
I think the light heavyweight division's really exciting.
John Jones did one of the nastiest things I've seen to Glover.
What?
Literally just locked his arm up and then just started fucking twisting it in back. I know it's the fight, but he started mangling it and just
that's what you do, isn't it?
Fucking all his shoulder up. And I was like, "Wait, that's nasty." Because you're
spiteful shit.
It's spiteful shit that you're looking to do some real long-lasting damage to that shoulder.
Was the one-arm guillotine on the main card?
That was quite mad. I saw that.
Did you see that? Was that on the main card or was that on the prelim? I can't remember.
Who was
It
that?
was a real naked choke.
Oh my god! Yeah, one arm naked choke.
Yeah.
By who?
Oh, the first one seen. I can't remember.
Was this on the prelims? Was it? Yeah.
Was it on the prelim?
I don't know.
Right.
I definitely watched it though.
It weren't on the
He's
main
got it
event.
up, and then he's
Yeah, it would
held
have been
on to the
prelims
other
then.
guy's shoulder and used that
he's
to
got
tweak it.
yeah.
And
It was against that Cowboy Oliveira, wasn't it?
yeah.
It was Randy saying,
Oh my god!
There's his Cowboy Oliveira.
He was tapping before he could even get that second arm.
Yeah.
Like one arm. It was.
Hey, that's a tight grip.
Oh,
It
dude!
fucking
and
looked
when he
tight.
was
It was so
It is,
tight.
wasn't it?
Still had it locked. And then he
He's done it
started
stood up.
tapping. just after he brought him down, and then he didn't feel the tap. Then he got his other arm around him.
Yeah.
And the ref was like, no, he's already tapping.
It's so interesting. He got it because he got it, and then he's used the opponent's shoulder as a
to make that leverage,
point,
yeah,
and crank that shit in there,
Yeah.
didn't he? And he's doing this while holding the other guy's arm back.
Yeah, he had long, strong arms.
Really good.
Who's the guy that nobody fights? He hasn't fought in 2 years because he can't get a fight. And he's so savage. I think his name's Ryan Hall.
Yeah,
Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall,
the wizard.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to fight him because
You always get that though. There was
He's
that
a leg
whole thing
lock,
about
foot lock.
he literally will mangle your legs
He
up.
just footlocked you, yeah.
Literally
Sorry,
mangle.
we saw a hill. Did we see? These are the prelims now. You didn't watch the prelims, did you? We saw a fantastic heel hook. See the heel hook?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh my god,
That was at Brendan Allen, wasn't it?
I don't know if you know, right? But in professional or in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, outside of very high level brown belt or black belt level, you aren't allowed to do heel hooks because of the torque.
Yeah.
If you're not
don't know what you're doing, you'll snap a leg.
Well, it's not just snapping a leg. You can hyperextend the knee and dislocate the hip. It's the whole system is like in your control, and you lean back and you don't get that right.
So if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to hurt someone. It's the same with teep kicks as well. They don't let you do teep kicks.
Knee bars is another one as well.
Because most people that throw a teep kick in training will end up breaking their foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such, you got to hit on the balls. So it's such a technique that they don't let you do it mostly.
We see knee bars. If you remember, Frank Mir actually beat Brock Lesnar. When Brock Lesnar comes to the UFC, Frank Mir beat him with a knee bar. And you see that knee bar, and if you go back and watch that, it is horrific.
Mate, they are savage.
Frank Mir
so savage,
has two of the most, that one, and then
I love Frank Mir.
What he did to...
yeah, mate. I got Frank Mir, mate. It's another rare one, that one.
They had two brothers.
I ain't got
two brothers. Big Nog. What's his name?
Oh, Little Nog.
Little Nog. Because he literally...
Didn't he fight Kimbo Slice? Was that
the
same weight class?
No, but fucking Frank Mir put Little Nog in a fucking Kimura, and Nog just doesn't tap, and by the end of it, his arm goes...
that was Nogueira.
That is Little Nog, Nogueira, he puts him in this fucking...
He ain't tapping.
And he wouldn't refuse to tap, so by the end of it, his arm, that would be the normal position, it's that way, but imagine it like that, but that way round.
Was it Antonio Nogueira or something?
Yeah, Antonio Nogueira. That's Little Nog, and then
you've got... John Jones fight where that had happened? Was it Chael Sonnen? Who was it? No. John Jones was put in an armbar by someone.
Vitor Belfort. And he had him in a Bob extended armbar. When
Rogan's talking to him, he's got his arm sat on top of the belt.
Oh, mate.
Right? Because it's twitching and that. And then Belfort comes up and grabs hold of it like that and goes, oh, good. And while he's talking, gives him a little extra shake. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah, mate. How he didn't tap that.
How
he was fucking hanging off it, wasn't he?
Bruv, how much pain.
He was hanging off it.
The two submissions
he was
I've seen.
Like that with it.
Yeah, the two submissions I've seen where I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How have you not tapped to that? Is that one where, because that was deep. That was deep. And the other one was Dan Hardy against GSP. GSP had him in an armbar, and you're like, how?
How are you not?
How are you not tapping
so the Gracies are choke out. Was it choke out or blackout?
Yeah.
They don't tap.
Yeah.
They will not tap. And you see this, I don't know if you've ever watched the Eddie Bravo fights with Gracie.
Yeah,
have you ever watched these?
No.
They are the most exceptional forms of jiu-jitsu you'll ever see. Eddie Bravo puts Gracie through the ringer. He puts him in a twister. He puts him in an electric chair. If you haven't seen these moves, these are extremely complicated no-gi jiu-jitsu moves.
He's got him in his legs.
He's got him.
Just mangling
and you're like, how are you not... what is it? The electric chair in it is basically the splits with a knee bar involved.
And he's got his leg, in one of them. He's got his leg, and you can see Eddie giving him little tweaks, trying to twitch it, can't tap, and he keeps doing this, and the guy just lays there. He won't tap for shit. So he's like, so he's literally just mangling his leg.
What's up with his paper?
I don't get it. And he won't tap.
Surely you tapped.
It's more pride, isn't it? They just won't have it.
They won't have it. It's embedded in their family, man. And when Gracie
said, "Protect yourself,
Gracie's knee, he said, "This fight happened 10 years ago." His knee's never been the same.
That's my point. That's exactly my point.
I ain't surprised, mate.
Well,
Fuck,
you
he's
need
lucky.
to watch them fights, though,
Mate,
bruv.
you need to be
my
aware
God.
of what damage is getting done to you.
You can't believe what you're...
I understand. Of course it is. But you need to be aware, man. That shit can end your career, mate.
Yeah, badly.
What good is it then?
Badly.
What good
Have you
is
seen
that
the
then?
twister? Have you seen what that
No, I
involves?
don't know what it is.
It is
Oh,
horrific.
mate,
It's
fuck.
where, like, your leg is turned that way in and extended that way, while this part of your arm and you're grabbed sort of almost like a guillotine through this part of the arm is turned the other way.
Yeah,
So
you've
your
been twisted,
body's
yeah.
being like extended and hiked, but inwards on your hips. Eddie Bravo invented this shit.
Yeah.
And he's just...
Eddie Bravo's a pioneer.
He's a savage.
Yeah,
and
proper,
you watch
mate.
him, and you're watching this shit going, you're like, well, you look like you're about to pull his spine out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it looks
It
that
sounds
bad.
like a finishing move off Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
that's
or
what
something.
he got him all from, because he's a crazy metal. He loves metal. He's
But-
a metalhead. And he's just like, yeah, the twister, the fucking electric chair, and all this crazy shit.
One of the savagest submissions I've ever seen. I can't remember who did it, but he literally sits on the bloke, grabs his legs like this.
Oh, I can't remember what it's
Oh,
called. There is a
mate.
name for it. You sit on the
You're trying
back.
to pull
In wrestling, it's called a Jericho.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Pull him in half, snap
Yeah,
him
but
in
he
half.
literally
like that.
sits on his back.
Sits on his back,
grabs
get
his
the legs.
On
and
his
pulls.
arse. He sits on his
No,
arse.
he's sitting on his spine with his chest on the bottom.
If I can
Grab
find
hold their feet and pull their feet back
Joe.
towards their shoulders.
Oh,
Joe, type into Google
What's up with these people?
MMA fighter does Jericho.
yeah,
Does
they're
a Jericho.
savage.
See what you can come up with.
Oh, bro.
Because it's savage. It didn't move and the bloke's tapped, and he's laying face down. He's sitting on his back, pulling his legs up.
Oi.
Yeah.
Oi.
It's horrific.
You know all this talk about Eddie Bravo and all the Nogi and everyone? What Troop was saying earlier about this Ryan Hall,
Yeah.
I bet Ryan Hall would get any one of them in a footlock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How would you spell
right.
Jericho?
Honestly, mate, the geezer's fucking unbelievable.
Jericho. G-E-R, yeah.
He used toilet paper, yeah.
It's double R, isn't it? I-C-O. Right, something like Jericho. No, it's H, yeah. What was it, Jericho?
MMA fighter
That's
was Jericho. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
look
is
at
it.
that,
This is
look.
it. This is it.
Look at that, Seb, look.
This is it. This is what the dude does. Play that, play that. Watch this. This is not fun.
Switching to the single leg now.
Oh, nice. Picks him
Yeah,
up,
it's
puts him
brutal.
down.
Yeah. And he just literally puts him in the walls of Jericho. Look at that dude's legs, mate. That bloke is solid as fuck.
Yeah, look, watch this, though. Look. Once he gets that leg over his shoulder, look. There he is. Look. Now, oh, I thought that was it then. Rolled him over again.
Yeah, soften him
Geezer
up.
is not a
Another guy.
jiu-jitsu dude. Look.
Looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, that guy on the bottom in the red shorts
Oh,
is not a
give it
jiu-jitsu.
that,
Oh, give it to that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
he's
thing.
ruined it.
Mate, what's that? That's fucking your back up,
On
isn't
his
it? That?
shoulders. Oh, that's everything.
Yeah,
That's
that-
your hips.
What's that going on?
I don't know. You need to get rid of it.
Projector, is it? That's
Oh,
about
can
to
you
go
not
off.
see it?
It's not the Boston.
On the screen, you've got a fucking thing. Like, fucking
Massive
what we're
square
watching.
right
Yeah,
in the middle of
it's-
the picture.
It was the projector. I knew it was.
Oh, never mind. It's gone now.
That's it.
Yeah, well,
That's done. It's bad, bruv, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not
it
good.
does,
I
that's
told
what
you
it
it
was.
wasn't good in there.
go on, play that again, Joe. But
It's
know
on
the
that.
remote
You
is.
got to click it on there.
I'm going to
There
go
you go.
get it
Yeah.
off, but nothing's happening.
play that
Look at
again.
Arnie there, look.
Play that again so fucking Seb can see this. Seb, watch this shit, mate.
Ah, it is horrific, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely bad.
But by the way, just so you know, this would never happen today. Because the guy the guy in the red shorts
Has no
has
understanding.
no jiu-jitsu background at all. Because this would never
Go on,
happen.
watch this. Play it again for us, Joe.
Watch how watch how bad the guy in the red shorts ground game is. It is shocking.
Yeah, it is definitely shocking.
Picks him out, puts him down.
Look at the size of his legs, though. He's got some fucking chunky old legs.
Yeah,
That
that don't
bloke.
mean nothing though, does it? If you got
If you don't know how to use it.
no.
No, just controlling.
Yeah, it does matter if he's kicking you with them. Fucking.
Going for a Japanese necktie briefly.
Yeah, he's got control when he look.
Really not looking
Yeah, look. Watch
But
this.
he's
Look,
going-
look,
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 he's
ready?
going for it.
Watch this.
Oh,
Watch this.
Boston Crab.
This is horrible. Look.
Boston Crab.
Oh, Boston
Oh my
Crab.
God.
Oh, it's
Do you know how much,
I told you,
do you know how
it's
much
nuts.
weight there is on that?
That makes it.
Have I seen anything like that?
Yeah, I was asking for it. Yeah. He's still on the deck, mate. He could quite easily have got like
He had
crushed.
about
But
as much experience on the floor as Ben Askren has at
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little harsh. On that
Is we done yet?
Are we done? Are we?
Done, are we?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
done.
how we start?
Producer,
and end
we're all
this?
done. Thank
Off the
you,
cuff.
everyone. Sorry, I've been a bit
Yeah.
quiet tonight. I've just had a heavy weekend.